Oh, you're right. It is. Oh, what happened there? Everybody's all messed up. Huh. That's so weird.
Where the...
Oh no.
There we go. Commercial break in progress. Thank you.
Uh-oh. Oh, great. You got an ad like right at the start? Like I literally just turned it on.
We are all moved all over the place.
We all shifted.
Jeez, I wonder what happened.
Jeez.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
What ad's it showing you?
Nothing, because I have a ad blocker.
Oh no, so is it like a black screen?
Ad blocker doesn't work on Twitch.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, yeah, we're a little elevated.
Elevated?
A little elevated.
A little elevated.
Fuzzy's not even where he's supposed to be right now.
I'm a whole other country over.
Yeah, he's an excellent.
You're where we need to go.
How did you get over there?
Where we going? Like right up the snooch.
What the dog doing?
Okay. Well.
I guess let's unveil a surprise.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I want to see it.
Let's get it.
That slow transition.
There's a transition.
Hey, it wouldn't be.
Other wanted posters.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, that's sick.
That is very good.
Makes you think of the One Piece wanted posters.
I really like the picture of Stinky there behind me.
That's good.
Do you recognize your DM screen too?
Oh yeah.
Great.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
now we are a little elevated.
Just a little, yeah.
Yeah, just a little, but it's fine.
We should probably do.
Alright, yeah, you're right.
We should probably redo or since we got like these wanted posters going on now, we should probably do like wanted poster versions of our things.
Isn't that the whole point of like what I've like?
Yeah, what you did, yeah.
I mean, yours kind of fits, yeah.
Sounds like I got it.
Yeah, Callie's is already there.
Sounds like I gotta fix mine. I know what I'm doing next.
Yeah, I will need to draw.
I might do a more
DM.
cheeky one though, because like I wanted to do that joke of like they never get Callie's wanted posters correctly, kind of like that joke in Tangled where they always
yeah.
make
I always get my nose wrong.
They always get my news wrong.
You know, it makes me think of. Hold on, let me think of Ragna's fucking wanted poster in Blaze Blue.
But that does look real good. Like that, this whole layout and everything. This is tight.
This is tight.
It is tight. I also like how the way that Jay's title sits is it looks like Jay the Chillionaire.
Jay the Chillionaire.
Jay the Chillionaire.
I'm a little upset because I didn't get to exactly finish it. Like I was gonna like on like I wanted posters to like little embellishments and also like a little plaque for Fuzzy's like stuff. I just kind of ended up just copy and pasting everybody's like thing from the last screen over.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. Not to mention you can make those little adjustments later on as we go. But this gets the vibe and the idea across, and this is a wonderful gift to the party, to the campaign for our friggin' 50th episode.
Woof.
50 more when we reach syndication.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Maybe we'll start reach critical role fame. We'll start our own.
Oh god.
Reach critical mass.
I mean, you know, on one hand, I would love that. On the other hand, like, oh Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Fuzzy, your stories will be known worldwide.
Which is both a benefit and a curse to some people.
I mean, yeah.
Some people, yeah.
You know what? I would consider it mostly a boon. I would consider that a boon and a positive
100%.
thing.
You know what? I'm just happy that I have gotten to go on this journey with you, everybody, my friends. I didn't know how long we were going to go on for. You know, I wanted to go for as long as we can. I did not expect us to get all the way to 50, but you know, let's shoot for 100.
Let's
Hey.
go.
I mean, you know,
certainly see. Yeah.
I mean, aim for the stars, hit the moon.
Mhm.
Get there, we're all,
Oh
like,
god, I'm out of the Milky Way now.
Oh my god, I missed hard.
I fired my gun. Oh, yes.
Where am I? I'm in the Andromeda Galaxy. Fuck.
I overshot.
Lactose intolerant motherfuckers when they learn they're in the Milky Way.
Lactose intolerant motherfuckers when I hit it with the power of a neutron star.
Okay, so let us do a brief recap here. All right, so last session was primarily the party returning after the combat with Vrek, the quote-unquote unkillable. I guess now there's quotes against. There's now like double sets of quotes around unkillable because, oh man, did he get killed?
He got really hard.
Got killed
got
so
killed.
hard he died to death.
Yeah, he died. He died because people killed him. Specifically,
No.
you guys. You guys are the people. But with Vrek dead, Soul Riot, his younger brother, was like, well, thanks, but also fuck you guys. I'm out. You can have your lives as, like a thank you for or whatever. And he also like threw you one of the 2 rings that he had. The automaton, who is called Test, he had her steal those from a military installation in Whitford. And, well, here he is again with the rings. He takes off one of those rings. He's like, here, you guys can have that one. I need it. My plan is moving forward, blah, 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 blah. Bad guy speech. Flap, flap, flap. He flies away like the fat little, like dinosaur that he is. But after that, though, the party, had noticed the fact that he had left behind his whole ass, sky barge. So they stole that, including the, 5 kobolds that were also left on board. Those kobolds are currently agreeing to work with the party so long as Callie pays them appropriately. We have not yet discussed exactly what that cost is. But so long as Callie pays them appropriately, they say that they will be loyal to her because that's how they operate. That's how they operate with Soul Riot. Soul Riot pays them, and they then send that money back to their clan. So basically, they are how their clan makes money. They are the GDP producers for their entire extended clan structure. And so long as Callie's willing to pay what they cost, then they will work for her. Callie has put some, some catches in place to, keep an eye on them. To keep an eye on them, just in case they decide that they're not getting paid enough, whatever.
Might be a good idea,
Yeah, but thankfully, Callie's got plenty of Callie's got plenty of other eyes though to keep on them. There are, of course, the Kolos who could definitely put up a fight with these guys, and there are the other kobolds. And the other kobolds, the only thing that they have going in their direction is just sheer numbers, because these kobolds versus the kobolds that you guys have, at home, these guys are elites. They are close to 1.5 feet taller than the other kobolds. They are very well educated as well as very healthy, very trained for combat and all that sort of stuff. Whereas the vast majority of the kobolds that y'all have already are not. Honestly, Vindig could make Gactus his bitch pretty damn quickly in a one-on-one fight. Unfortunately. I mean, yeah, he has to get in line for that. But getting in line for that or not, Gactus is also, Gactus has been doing a little side training with termite, trying to like up his skills so he can keep up with the other people. But yeah, so but otherwise, besides those guys, the party went back to the village at the Crescent Moon ruins and had all of them like take some anti-curse stuff to help heal up. One of them is going to need another round of that, but that can't happen until you guys get back to until the party got back. They couldn't make that check again, but only one of them didn't pass with the bonus that was given from the anti-curse stuff. So you can pick up some more anti-curse, or he's going to pick up some more anti-curse medication and make that check again, so that he hopefully does not like turn into a statue and then start passing the curse on to everybody.
Oh, no.
Hopefully we're not getting shot at in the sky barge, and we're flying some like colors that they're like, oh hey, that's friendly, you know, like.
I would assume, honestly, actually, speaking of the door, I would assume that Callie would probably have gone back through the door to let everybody at Homestead know that, hey, there's going to be a dirigible floating up. It's us. It's us on the dirigible. Don't shoot.
Oh yeah, I know.
But otherwise, though, it took 2 days for like the party to get back to Homestead and then to start making people aware of what's going on and these new people who have shown up and what's going on with them, yada yada yada, and then figuring out, hey, we've got an actual like community here going on, and a couple of people in that community very concerned to talk with the party on like, hey, how do we want to set up roads and drainage and like zoning and things like that, because we're actually building up a real legitimate like town here. Homestead also went through a round of potential rebranding to the name Kazmir, which will probably get mispronounced as Kashmir, like almost ASAP, but Casimir is the thing that we're going for.
Somebody pronounces it as Kashmir. We're gonna beat it into them to pronounce it correctly.
Sue the pants off them. All right. Okay. So, out of all of that, though, the other thing that is appropriate to point out is that the party also decided that, one, the sky barge, while nifty and cool, it's going to need some modifications if they're going to use it for long-term travel. That is the thing that's just simply going to have to happen. And towards the end of that session, June got a mental phone call from Umber to inform June that Umber had been going through some leftover like paperwork, apparently, from the snake folk. Like, she's basically going through the next like stage of completely divesting herself from those guys. And she has found some notes that contained information that would have been actually extremely important to her, but the snake folk never told her, so she's actually just kind of pissed off about that even more, that they were fucking hiding shit from her. Which, hey, you know what? That tracks for those guys. But they had apparently trolled through some ruin that is located in the kingdom of Bach. And I'll ping it on the map here, its general location. It's kind of like over here at the sort of like base edge of the mountains here. But they had gone through some location there. They essentially, what they were doing, they were looking for a place to build one of the hidden, cells that they would then like, manipulate other people around, sort of thing. And they turned this place down as a potential for that. But one thing that they came across in there and was kind of mentioned in their notes is that they found a carving or an engraving or a mosaic or something that's like a decorative piece in this ruin, and it has something. It has something to do with Lamia history, and Umber is extremely interested in that. Something that may not be clear to all of the party. This is something that June knows, but I just want to make this open and clear on the table for what's going on here. Is one of Umber's big motivations is figuring out a way of solving, curing, reversing, whatever you want to call it, the Lamia curse. Lamias, just to be clear, are creatures which, while they can, like breed and like birth new Lamias and all that thing, like quote unquote natural creatures, occasionally somebody will do something and they will just transform into a Lamia. That's part one of the curse. Part two of the curse is that when any two Lamias get near each other, they want to murder each other.
I love murder.
Like they're very super antisocial. So the fact that there are natural born Lamias is not because Lamias breed with each other. Yeah. They breed other humanoids, and
they breed violence.
I mean, they do breed violence because of that situation. They do breed violence, as a newborn Lamia is more like a newborn snake, not a newborn baby. So it's immediately active, it's immediately hungry, and it will just consume whatever it can get its mouth on. They come with teeth right out the gate, is what I'm saying. So they're little monsters. They're really truly little monsters. And Umber specifically wants to break that part of it so that they could be a people. They could be a culture, that kind of thing. Like, she doesn't want them to be monsters. She wants them to be seen as people. And that requires, doing something about the curse. And the problem with the curse is that the only thing that is known about the curse, and this is relatively commonish knowledge, is that the Lamias or the original Lamia was actually a person named Lamia, probably a woman, probably a human, and she was cursed by a deity, or possibly deities, or possibly something that is like a deity. But none of these things are actually known, and that's part of what she would need, as part of what Umber would need in order to figure the curse and how to break it. So this information is important to her. There's also, just like stuff there at this ruin besides just this thing. But she called up June to be like, hey, I found this information. It's nearer to you than it is to me. Could you go, get a picture of it, make a rubbing,
rip it off
disconnect it, rip it off the wall, whichever, and then bring it to me so that I can, study it and whatever. And you can bring your idiots if you want to, So she also basically just planted this thing over there. She did also tell June, though, that this isn't time sensitive. So, you don't have to snap to. She's not she's not issuing orders like, hey, Unit 7, go, up. She's politely asking in her own way if the party would kindly go get that. But while June was basically taking that phone call, Callie was like, hey, you know what? Since we have to go to Harham for a little bit for some things, how about I just pop in and talk to the cook at the Cat's Eye, and now that I know the language, and talk to him about soul gems, because he has information on soul gems. And oh boy, did he have information on soul gems. Specifically, he knows where they mined the actual gems at. This is not common knowledge. This is not common knowledge, and he was very quick to point out that he's not a criminal now in the Empire. But he does know where these things come from, and if Callie, wants to get her hands on them, she's going to have to go there to physically get her hands on them. That place is located over here in Uxlan, relatively near the capital of Uxlan. So opposite fucking direction to the quest that Umber gave. So the party was essentially presented with two options. Which way do you want to go? And I put a vote up for it in the Discord, and it was pretty overwhelmingly, almost 100%, to, hey, let's go after the soul gems. Because one, the soul gems are themselves very valuable. They have a lot of interesting powers that are associated with them. They are also associated with the automatons and clockworks and everything, so that has to do a little bit with our resident clockwork Tim, and also that has something to do with the also mysterious, probably evil organization of Viva Machina. So Viva Machina. So yeah, there's a lot of little bits and pieces that has connections to. So hey, and hey, look, you guys have a fucking Zeppelin.
How does that blend?
I mean, you have a Zeppelin. You
Boy,
could cover it. You could cover it in lead and take it to heaven.
Get out of here.
So,
Boo.
Why is heaven radioactive?
wouldn't you like to know?
The only
radio?
man, that makes me imagine dragons.
Good.
Radioactive.
I'm glad. Radioactive. So
Shoot.
all of that said, the party is currently here back at Homestead / Casimir. So let me switch us over to that map.
Yes.
Oh, new map?
Oh.
No, not new map, just our regional map that we're well familiar with. Now, also speaking of which, I have seen the things in Discord that you guys were putting together for like zoning and like thinking about where you want to put shit and everything, as well as like places that you could designate, like, hey, we can get extra lumber over here. We could maybe set up water mills or windmills in these locations, so on and so forth. Which, when you guys were talking in Discord, like something I felt I needed to like point out is the fact that this map is 12 square miles, by the way. Like that's how big this is. This is 12 square miles. Each one of these little hexes on here, which is measured out, these are like half a mile apiece.
Yeah.
Oh damn. Okay, yeah, we might need to.
I may have made it a bit too. Well, okay, good to know. I might go back and
we could
revise
probably,
it.
yeah, like each individual hex could be its like own little Catan square.
think-
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like it
The placement though is still kind of fine though.
yeah, the placement, like the zones,
Yeah.
that's fine. Actual buildings, however,
The
are going to
amount,
probably need to like are going to have to get kind of squished together a bit more.
Also,
Um,
also, as I was saying, I don't know how I feel about people moving in towards her grove, so I don't. You have to ask her.
Codlaka, I would go ahead and tell you in general, prefer that you like don't cross the like this. Let me put it on the map here. So like this intersection of the river, like that part that kind of like blocks Codlaka's section in. She would prefer that you guys don't do any like major logging or construction in that area.
Right.
Codlaka, just to be clear, while she's a reasonably powerful druid, and she is buddies with two eagles, which are literal forces of good and are the Cessna airplanes apiece. Like she could fuck you up if she wanted to. But the point is that like she does not have any problem with you guys making manipulations to any of the rest of this area, so long as you're not like especially harmful to nature and literally nothing that you guys have talked about or said or anything is going to be like actual literal exploitative of the environment.
Yeah, I mean, plus the lumber and logging areas, we're probably gonna replant the trees anyway, because that would be stupid cutting down all the trees and then not having any logs left to build houses.
Yeah.
That's just how normal logging is in general. You plant the trees and then you cut the ones down that are ready, and then you keep doing that over and over again.
Yeah, it goes from being a wild forest to being a farm. But it is still very much a forest, and it would be under the care, whoever you decide to be. You're in charge of forestry stuff. So basically there's a lot of jobs to be assigned, and there's a lot of tasks that need to be done as far as putting together the town, and then of course putting the adjustments that you need on the sky barge before the sky barge can comfortably take you guys to the next major adventure area. One other thing though that does need to be discussed as far as the just getting the party to the next adventure area, is how are you going to navigate to a place that none of you have ever been to?
Magic 8 Ball.
Are we gonna ask the Magic 8 Ball? Is that what?
Well, I don't know.
What is the Magic 8 Ball going to do? Just
Forward.
We could.
it's like
we
go that
could.
way. Like it literally just says go that way with a little arrow, and then you'd have to wait a whole 24 hours to like be like, yeah, still go that way. Continue straight. Continue straight.
So wait, we just
That's the longest
maybe-
GPS.
maybe go get a
we
maybe get a
could.
map?
technically.
Maybe get a map or something.
I mean, a map would be good. However, though, you're going to be traveling in a space that most maps don't like think about. Like, they don't think about it in the way of like
Sky
what this
travel.
look like from a top down thing.
Yeah.
They don't have GPS as a thing.
That's true.
Now, of course, the what I would assume would probably be the way that we'd actually do it is you would take a look at the stars and then figure out like what's the star coordinates for the location that you're going to. The only problem with the sky barge, and this will be a thing that Callie's going to have to figure out a way around, is how to steer by the stars when the stars are blotted out by the big ass envelope that's above the gondola. So, like maybe like a mirror on the end of a stick that you just hold the way the fuck out.
Ask
That's-
the kobolds how they navigated.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that would be the other thing too. Is just to ask
Actually, yeah, that is true. Let's go ask Vindig, who's probably being swarmed by red kobold children.
Also, just I only this might be a little bit more silly than actual serious, but I thought about it. Could you hang a ladder off the envelope?
Oh yeah, like the envelope itself. Just so that we're clear, it does have two like octagon like quote unquote firm holdings that like go around it.
Mhm.
And there are already like pegs on those things that act as ladders for you to like climb around the thing while it's inflated.
I gotcha. I ask because like Tim has not only predict weather but also is trained in survival. Is actually trained in survival. If Tim could even just climb to the side of the envelope and just like look at the stars from the side of the envelope, he might. Until we can find a better solution, Tim could just climb onto the side and read the side of the envelope.
I mean, yes, that is something that Tim could do. Tim would need to like brush up on star charts, but like, yeah, that is something Tim could do.
Yeah, can I go ask Vindig now, like how they?
Yes,
of
course. Vindig, now that you guys have like been back here at Casimir for a little more than 24 hours, which the next day, like 24 hours from now, is when Betty and her orcs should be showing up. But yeah, Vindig and the other like green kobolds are pretty much getting swarmed by the red kobolds, who are all like chittering and chattering at them in Draconic, like asking them all kinds of like questions and whatnot. And the green kobolds are like they're a little standoffish, but they're not like being like dicks or anything about it. They're not being rude, but they're a little standoffish in the whole like, hey, you guys are a bunch of like really short people. I mean, like if you've ever seen like and this is highly specific because this comes from a video I watched a couple of years ago, but if you've ever seen a like Scandinavian world-class strongman standing in a crowd of a bunch of like Chinese people.
Oh god, I think I know.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's basically what's going on here. It's like they could literally flex his pecs and they could grab on and then like monkey bar hang off of his
It's probably what they're
his
doing,
fucking arms.
Little red
But yeah, they're pretty much getting swarmed by the kobolds. They're all like chattering in Draconic, asking questions, and just being like, "Wow, you're so big. How did you get so big?"
Eat your spinach, kids.
It's literally just the meme I drew.
What's your fucking like bathroom routine? So like they're just getting kind of like swarmed, but Vindig like notices Callie coming over, and like he steps away from the kobold swarm with like one of the little smaller red young kobolds just like fucking like riding on his tail. But he steps over to meet with Callie, and he kind of folds his arms. He's like, "You ready to talk about payment?"
Yeah, actually, I am. Yeah. Callie kind of chuckles a little at the red kobold sitting on his tail. You seem to have a passenger.
Little guy's fine. Don't worry about it.
Alrighty. But I also came here to discuss some other matters as well, like asking you guys how did you guys navigate while using the sky barge? And she kind of like points up at it as it's like hovering above the workshop or whatever.
Well, we didn't do much navigating really. I mean, if we're doing something close, it's easy to just sort of like look out and look for landmarks, notable mountains, hills, buildings, that kind of thing. So long as you're familiar with it, you can sort of gauge where you're at. But long distance, well, we only been using the thing for like 2 months, maybe. And well, when we had to go to the that place up north, the Crescent Moon place, the way that we got there was the boss just used that ring thing.
Oh, the ring. Callie like takes it off of her finger. That it did shrink down to a.
Yes, it did shrink down to like a regular human-sized ring.
Callie like well actually, she like inspects it. It's like, use this to navigate.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, to be perfectly honest. I just know what the boss said, and the boss said that he knew about a constant, steady source of a very specific sort of kind of magic that was up there, and that the ring could detect it. So we just had to follow whichever way the ring said to go.
Ooh. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, it seems like Callie needs to go up into the sky barge and experiment a little bit to see what the hell he's talking about.
Well, you'll need somebody who can cast detect magic in order to do it.
She grabs her dad by the.
I was gonna say,
just grab Seamus by the lapels and like.
His dad doesn't say anything, just drags him.
Tim's gonna like walk next to Callie. He's like, well, if it's from what I heard, it's detecting a specific kind of magical frequency. So if we're looking to maybe find the soul gem mines, he like tinks his soul gem. Do you think you could, once we figure out how it connects to the sky barge, do you think you could like get it connected to my kind of core, and then we could use that to like triangulate where the mines are would be in Uxland?
I think that could work, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
No?
Well, I mean, honestly, that seems logical. I follow what you're talking about. But the way that the boss did it was he knew that there was a portal up there, and that portal's always on, so he just glued onto that one portal. I don't know if, like, your core thingy is gonna be powerful enough to, like, register for that. He told me the ring only detects, like, big, powerful, magical stuff.
Well, I feel like Callie kind of looks at him and is like, well, our destination is a giant mine where they mine soul gems. I think that's probably going to pick up on the ring or on this frequency, you know?
I mean, maybe, but hey, we're also in the Empire. Other
That's true.
automatons walking around.
Yeah. Might connect to something in the Empire before it goes to Uxland.
Not to mention it might just also be diffuse and fucking up the signal.
Yeah.
That is also true, yes.
Hmm.
That's why I wanted to tinker with it a little bit to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
I mean, it doesn't help to... Okay, John, who's gonna cast the detect?
Yeah, I mean, you dragged me, so I mean, I'll do detect magic.
Take your dad.
Yeah, probably he would be a good idea, you know. I probably
Alright,
should explain to him first what's happening instead of just dragging him with no explanation.
Dad, can you use detect magic? Say less, honey.
Okay. All right. Well, just to go ahead and figure something out with that. Callie, Seamus, and Tim, since you're also there, all of you can make a Arcana check.
Okay. I'm good at these.
God damn it. What the fuck? Oh, okay, that was a weird bug.
That was weird. I saw it too. It was gone for
Yeah,
a second.
yeah. For a hot second there, like
Yeah, it was a solid white 26.
21. I might want to re-roll that. Kind of low even for me.
no,
Oh, hey,
it's good enough.
Alright.
Oh, it's good
It's
enough.
good
All right.
It's good enough. Okay, so between Tim and Callie, you guys, realize, wait a second, we're going to a place in Uxland that is, quote unquote, near the capital. Well, also, quote unquote, near the capital of Uxland is a famous portal that is always on. So if this thing can detect powerful portal magic at range, then it could maybe detect that. So you would just need to explain that to Seamus, and then have him use the ring to try to detect powerful portal magic to lock onto the signal.
Understandable. Yeah, I think we both explained. I think like at this point, Callie and like Tim are so close. They're just like when they're having like these hunches, they're like finishing each other's like.
Yeah, and so then the portal will connect to, and then Callie leads it on, and we just keep it's just back and forth.
Yeah.
Back and forth on that. Seamus.
Tim starts teaching Callie Utopian,
Yes.
just like you just gotta know at this point.
So in order to use this, you do need to make the ring one of your invested items. So it will count as one of your invested items, of which you can have 10. And then you, while wearing the ring, cast Detect Magic. And your normal Detect Magic works like usual. However, your passive Detect Magic sense extends quadruple the range that it normally has.
Oh, damn.
So now that quadruple range, like way more than covers the sky barge while it is floating. And you are familiar with the sky barge and all of your companions, so you are able to cut out all of that interference noise. But from your perspective, you can see on the horizon multiple quote unquote portal beacons lighting up. And one of those portal beacons is a shitload bigger and a shitload brighter than all the other ones. And it is
My eyes!
and it is northwest. So let's move us over here to the world map real quick.
Ooh.
All right, so world map here. All right, so obviously this doesn't have Casimir knocked on it yet, but you are close enough as makes no difference to just count here as Harem. So your portal sense is you're picking up a dim portal right here, which is roughly in the same spot as where the Crescent Moon ruins are. So like, just as a reference, you are picking up this one over here. It's pretty dim. There is another relatively dim one down here, coming from this direction over the horizon. There is a really fucking bright one up here. Like this is the super big bright.
Damn.
Jeez,
Yeah, this is the super big bright one. So this one is on that, but there is another super big bright one, not as bright, but big and noticeable, that is up here. And then there is another one over here, and then another one over here.
Damn.
And another one over here. And this one specifically is surrounded by dozens upon dozens of dimmer, smaller portals.
That's a nexus point right there.
That do seem like a nexus point, yeah.
Oh, and there's pardon me. There's one more that is over here. But this one is flickering for some reason.
Oh,
Like the others are solid, this one's flickering.
It's got that bad ping.
Yeah, it's got that bad ping.
probably.
It's
Oh,
got
200
lag.
ping. 200 ping.
Yeah.
200 ping, yeah.
Like in it, like you can literally see the frames.
That's 4 frames.
But yeah, so you've got a just nexus point around a big portal over here. You've got a flickery portal over here. The big, like the just biggest, brightest, closest one is here. There is like I said, there's the dim one that corresponds with the Crescent Moon Ruins. There's another bright one here, but it's obviously much more distant. Another bright one way down here, and another bright one even further away over here.
Damn. Quadruple range is kind of brazy.
Well, I mean, yeah, your magic sense, but like this is just showing you there's big ass portal magic specifically way the fuck over there. It's beyond your range of passive sense. It's just showing you that it exists in that direction, and it's giving you a general strength vibe.
Yeah, well, we got the navigation down then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Figure that
Also, I
out.
think I accidentally deleted an item. Shit.
No.
Damn.
Which item did you delete as I move us back to the region map?
That's the problem. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, Jesus.
Which one did I forget? I forgot.
I forgot.
I
about
forgot.
I forgot.
That's like in those fucking like globes in like Harry Potter where it's like they light up a specific color if we forget something, and like Neville got one. He's like, that's the problem. I've forgotten what I've forgotten. Yeah, I don't remember what I forgot.
It says there's a rollback feature, but I can't find it. Don't worry about it. It's just me.
Well, so besides that, you now have a way to, as the crow flies, point you in that right direction. Also, I went ahead and checked the height map. There's nothing too tall for the Zeppelin to have to navigate around in between here and there. So technically, you've got a dead heading. You can just point in that direction and go. So at least there's that. Now you just need to worry about getting the Zeppelin into a livable state that you can make the journey.
That is. Callie would also, since Vindig is fucking here, ask. So I would presume since you guys have had this for 2 months, you're pretty familiar with it, right? The Zeppelin. This is me asking Vindig.
Say that again.
Oh, did it cut me out? Fucking Discord, man. I said, since you've been working with it since you've had the Zeppelin for 2 months, I would presume that you are very familiar with it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alrighty. Yeah, we probably. No, continue.
Well, I was just gonna say, if you want us to crew the thing, we can do that. There's this cost for that. I just want to make you aware of the fact that Soul Riot has essentially paid us forward for another week, but after that, that's when actual payment's going to have to start rolling in from you if you want us to continue to
Alrighty.
work for you.
Yeah. I mean, just how much is the payments exactly?
Payment for general services from us per kobold, and I guess that's just me and the other 4. It's 5 gold per day.
No, per day.
And we're paying per month.
Per month? Is it a?
I mean, you can pay in a per month thing if you want to pay us on a day-to-day thing. You can do that too. But as soon as the money rolls out, well, we roll out too.
It's fine. Wait, let me do the math real quick.
One of the things I deleted was masquerade scarf, so I'm fixing that.
Does Callie have like a budget for that kind of stuff?
God, the fuck, damn.
Yeah, these guys are not cheap.
They're unionized.
Yeah, they're unionized. I mean, that is true.
It is essentially like paying like a per week for like room and board kind of like thing. Is essentially what it is.
I mean, yeah. It's 5 gold per each kobold. A full month for all of them, I've calculated for just like a 30-day month would be like 750 gold pieces for all of the kobolds, for all 5.
That is definitely a cost to have to do.
Galley's got to set out a budget for that kind of stuff.
I got a budget, yeah. We gotta figure.
I was gonna say,
You gotta
do we
make
need all of them?
a separate.
Do we need all of them? I mean, not necessarily.
I was gonna say,
yeah, not necessarily do you need all. Vindig would, let you know, like as you said, they're mercenaries. Their goal is to make money for their entire tribe. Like that's kind of the point.
Yes.
So they don't have any particular reason to go against Callie or the party or these any of these people here. They don't have any particular reason to do that. Honestly, getting into combat where they are likely to die or anything like that is not good for their entire tribe since they are the moneymakers. So that being the case, if Callie decides that she doesn't want to employ all 5 of them, whichever ones she doesn't want to employ will gladly work off the remainder of the week of time that has been bought, previously by Soul Riot, and then just fuck off and leave. Go home and wait for somebody else to hire them.
Yeah.
Tim pulls Callie to the side for a minute. It's like, should we ask them if they're looking to send money back to their tribe so that they can buy food and housing? Because if that's the case, then I mean,
we could ask. Yeah, I mean, I see where you're going with this, and I like it. Maybe we should discuss that with her. Maybe.
Yeah. Because we've already got some space for those kobolds over there. What's building another home?
I like where you're thinking. Yeah, let's just ask him. We'll see if that is the case.
No, Vindig clarifies that they do it for greed.
Hey, honestly,
you know that little bit of dragon that they've got in them. It comes with some complications.
Hey, honestly, makes sense.
Respect honesty. Yeah.
I respect the honesty, indeed. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, money buys, comforts and all that sort of stuff. And that is clearly a thing. But they are driven to get more than just simply comfort because their dragon ancestry has some of that dragon avarice just baked into their DNA.
Callie's like, that's kind of fucked up. Man gave you dragon DNA and now you're greedy and want money because of it. I'm just saying, that's kind of fucked up,
Well, according to Vindig, one of their previous clan leaders did apparently was quite an avid writer and thinker of thoughts. And amongst their things that they left behind was they wondered, theoretically, just a question out loud, sort of thing of I wonder if Soul Riot started breeding with the tribe to both produce stronger minions that also would be controlled by Dragon Avarice that he could then rent out and manipulate financially. So not only would he get just genetically superior workers, but would also be able to manipulate them through the most basic of like financial needs without having to like enslave them or worry about anything. They're motivated by greed genetically.
I can't pay you guys, but this one's going to come with a big score. So if you help me out, we can split it. And they're like, we work for free to make that money. Like, you have to pay these fools.
But yeah, like that's kind of the deal. So yeah, they work for greed, is the whole thing. But they do. They tamp it down as much as they can. So, like, if Callie wants to, like, just hire, say, 1 or 2 of them, she can pay the 5 gold a day for just the 1 or 2 of them, as opposed to all 5 of these dudes. They have no reason to pick a fight or anything like that. They will just fuck off and leave.
Yeah, I think Vindig would definitely be one I'm gonna.
Let's just keep Vindig around.
Yeah, I mean he could be.
Pay to keep that guy.
Pay to keep that guy.
Maybe
one other.
Yeah.
Because then what was your idea?
I forgot. It literally just escaped my brain. Apologies.
All good. All good.
Again.
He forgot again.
My brain don't work.
I mean that's fine with me. Yeah, like keeping a couple of them around. It would be helpful to keep a couple of them around anyway.
Sure.
So yeah, now we probably should work on the barge, right?
Onto the barge. Tim like flips a welder's mask down. Let's go.
Would I need to do a crafting as well to get it started or whatever?
I will need a crafting check, DC 25, in order for you to begin the process of converting the sky barge.
Oh, nice.
Can I help?
I mean, you can, sure.
I don't know. I'll just roll it. I'll roll a carrot. I'll roll it. I have plus 13. Hey,
it did it again. It did it again for you.
Yeah, I saw it
it's because I have dice rolling on, so whenever I click it, the dice actually rolls for me. So let me turn that off if it's causing problems.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it just takes like a second. Like it's stuck on the.
Yeah,
I thought it was a weird loading thing.
Wait, maybe it's really just flashing. Maybe it's really just saying like, oh, you rolled this, like, you know, blinking the number.
Yeah,
that could just
probably.
be it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. I was like, 1p3. That's not bad too. You rolled a 10.
Mm-hmm. I have plus 13 to crafting. I'm like Tim knows his stuff when it comes to crafting things. Just it's him who is pretty good at crafting, and then Callie who is about 2 or 3 rolls away from just creating life.
Like bringing that is true. Yeah, it's alive. It's alive.
Stop fighting.
Stop fighting.
Pardon me, ever so briefly. Just as a funny little side thing that's going on outside of the game. My ex-wife has like slid into my DMs to like ask me advice on how to properly shade and highlight clothing folds.
That is a sentence I never thought I'd hear. That is magnanimous.
I mean, I'm just as a brief aside thing. My ex-wife, she's very creative. She's artistically minded, that sort of thing. But she went through like a long period. She just wasn't really making anything, and she has recently like refound her passion for it. And she wants to get better at her craft and whatever. So she's like, I wanted to talk to you about this because I know that you're good at it, and you would also like engage with me in a completely, constructive format. And I was like, okay. It's just she picked like now during game time to do it.
Yeah. Also,
I will
I didn't
admit,
even
cooling
ask
builds
how.
are a pain in the butt.
Also,
Yeah,
I didn't even,
yeah, they are.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even ask how long this would take. I just got like, fuck it, we'll get to it.
Well, as far as how long it will take to do the conversion for the Skybarge is going to require 12 days to get everything set up so that it's got living space, so that you can do the navigation, so you've got the crane arm to hold Mr. Servos, all that sort of stuff. Is going to take 12 days to do that. To note, in game right now, it is currently December 12th, and on the 13th is when Betty shows up. Betty and all of her orcs and their like warhogs are going to roll into town tomorrow at some.
Alrighty.
And so we'll have to figure out something, what to do with them. I believe the fort was pointed out as like a place where they could post up and then get that like set together. And everything. So yeah, technically there is a place for them to reasonably comfortably park themselves. And start building that out.
Have like a good, band of mercenary orcs this time.
Yeah.
Ones who will protect the people.
Yeah, it'll probably be time to rename it from something other than Fort Foulmouth, or to something else.
Just call it Fort Betty.
Fort Betty, I like that.
Fort Betty.
Welcome to Fort Betty. Where'd the name come from? You point to the big orc vampire lady. That's Betty.
That's Betty.
She owns the fort. She'll break your legs.
I like that it started as a joke and now it's an actual thing. It's like we just call her Betty.
Fort Betty.
Fort Betty.
Fort the Betty.
Okay.
It's just because it's such a normal name in all of the like Tims and Callies and Junes and all those. It's like Betty.
You're saying Tim's a crazy crazy name?
Well, technically, Tim's an abbreviation, but yes, Tim's pretty normal.
But Tim, like as a human name is relatively common. But Tim is only called Tim because that's an abbreviation. He is actually Transfer One Master?
Transfer One Maker.
Transfer One Maker, excuse me. Transfer One Maker is his actual name, his actual designation.
Bit of a mouthful.
Which, test is Transfer 35 Transformer. Is her actual designation. So yeah, and then and then I'm not even going to go into what Vandals stands for, but
Vandals is off.
Yeah, Vandals is pretty wild. But anyways, let me hold on. I gotta bring up something here. Oh, good. Okay, good. Excellent.
Everybody out there on
right.
Twitch, welcome to the 50th episode of the Path of Halfus. This is wild.
Yeah. Listen to me fumble her out for 2 minutes. Shit. Okay.
This game.
All right. I was caught up on like I said, my ex-wife has been hitting
problems,
me
bro.
about this, and
No problems at all.
I think we have hit a natural conversation with her, so she probably won't bug me again, at least for a little. Which I don't mind at all coming in and asking me hey, how can I do this with an art technique thing? But while I'm trying to do Pathfinder at the same time, it's just all over the place.
It's just bad timing, that's all.
Yeah, it's just bad timing. Anywho. Okay, so it'll take 12 days for the conversion to be completed. It is currently the 12th of December, which means that shortly, like basically as soon as the solstice runs around, like, you know, Halfus Christmas, is when Callie's going to be ready with the airship, and then the party can just, you know, fucking take off and start moving. So, that being the case, we'll need to figure out what the party is doing for the 12 days otherwise during that time period. And we also need to make the decision which NPCs, if any, are coming along. I'm assuming, given conversation last time, that Rusi is going to be comes along this time.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I would very much like to bring him.
Okay, so
Rusi
is in the yes column. What other NPC though is going to be coming along, if any?
I mean, should we have Vindig come along just so in case something happens in the airship, you know?
Well, the longer that we hold on to Vindig, the more we have to pay him, which I don't mind if we feel like we really are going to need Vindig.
Yeah, maybe just keep him at the workshop and then...
Yeah. We don't have... I guess also in person, in character, we don't have anybody here that, like, knows or has been to... do we?
What's the
no,
language?
But...
I'm going to assume everyone in Uxland speaks Skish, right?
That's going to be a relatively language there. The other one is going to be common. You know, like an accented common is kind of spoken there as the major language. So as far as communication is concerned, mostly that shouldn't be a problem. But Shisk is also going to be very common there, as well as Necrol is going to be super common there.
Another language the party does not speak.
Yeah, so that...
I guess Callie would go and ask around all of the NPC characters and ask if any of them have been to Uxland before, I guess.
Dan.
Literally no.
Okay.
The closest any of them has ever gotten is Torque, because she traveled down the road one time from Harham, heading in that direction, and she got as far as the town of... Hold on, let me pull up the pull up the map so I can tell you what the name of this fucking town is.
So we gotta do Rusi and Torque and the rest of the crew. I'd be down.
I would also point out that Torque, rather famously, can see and talk to spirits, souls, and things like that.
Okay, yeah.
Also, her bardic knowledge thing is fucking
Google.
It's crazy powerful for, like, hey, what the fuck is going on? Okay, she made it as far as the town of Cockengrave.
What?
She made it as far as the town of Cockengrave, and yes, she went there because of the name.
I was gonna say, of course, Torque would go to Cockengrave.
She heard while she was in Harham one day about a town down the main road, like way off to the west, called Cockengrave, and she's like, "It's actually called Cockengrave," and they were like, "Yes, it's actually called Cockengrave." And she's like,
"I'm gonna go there."
And so she went to Cockengrave, and she was there for like literally half a day. She says it's a town, you know, like she was kind of hoping for, like, you know, dick statues or something, but no.
Lame.
Lame.
Just because it's you know, they got the
she does clarify though that they did have some very big mushrooms which were kind of phallic like, you know, but other than that,
so, who are we leaving in charge though if we're taking both of those?
As far as well, I mean, as far as like leader stuff, you would have both Betty and Sirhan there. Sirhan is very well liked by your other, you know, your standard homesteaders. So him acting as a buffer between Betty and the brand new orcs who have showed up and are fixing up the fort that used to be filled with bad orcs. You know, and just making sure that everyone understands that these are good orcs.
I mean, yeah, Callie would probably be going around vouching for them. It's like, okay, all the other
They're all
villagers,
good.
they're good. Yeah, the new villagers, they were been protected by them, so they're good. You know.
So you've got those two. Not to mention the homesteaders. Frankly, their anxiety goes down when Gloria is like in residence, because if nothing else, she is their small kaiju that they can call on in times of extreme need.
To throw a lock at something and like delete it.
Oh yeah, that does.
Yeah,
have to, at some point,
she can delete things with a log at 40 feet.
I just realized though, at some point, don't we have to relocate her because of the mine and whatnot, and because of the Avalon, blah 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 blah.
That is also another little thread from previously. Is that while you guys were gone, I guess auditor actually would be the proper term, from the Avalon Mining Company showed up because this is a claim that they have on their maps. They're not currently doing anything with it. And according to the auditor, as far as they know, the company doesn't have any current plans for it. But the mine that Gloria does live in and has been living in for a couple of years now does technically belong to the Avalon Mining Company. And if at any point the Avalon wanted to swing in and do something with it, well, you know, they're going to have to deal with Gloria.
Well, yeah.
Nobody wants to deal with angry Gloria.
Yeah,
True, but if they bring enough dudes, they can deal with even an angry Gloria. If they
Then
bring
they're gonna have to deal with an angry Tim, and that's even worse.
But again, we're talking about like a company.
50 dudes, yeah, it's full on. Just turn him into scrap metal, just stomping Tim into the ground. Stupid.
I was saying maybe leave that with Worf. Just be like, hey, oh yeah, the Avalon Mining Company's like, you know, came by. Maybe just like, you know, if they come back, maybe mention something about, you know,
mine's haunted. Mine's haunted. By what? Big monster. What kind of big monster? The big monster that's going to squish you if you go fucking near it.
Just tell them a dragon's in it and they'll leave.
Yeah, because they definitely don't care about dealing with dragons.
I mean, yeah, they did just straight up tell everybody to abandon a place when the dragon. But yeah, okay. So you can leave that message with Worf that should the Avalon Mining Company in any form show up to just be like, "Ayo, mine's haunted," and or like there's a dragon in there, big monster. You might want to not fuck with that. You know, even he, a member of the Pathfinders, has determined it to be "quote unquote" not worth it to do anything about the threat in the mine.
That would be kind of funny. Yeah, the Pathfinder Society is like, yeah, no, that mine haunted. We ain't doing it.
The Avalon Mining Company tries to hire us to clear out our own mine again, and Gloria's in there. We're like, hey, we can't get it out.
Actually, you know what? It suddenly implies.
Oh god, that actually would be kind of funny. The Avalon Mining Company trying to hire us to clear out their mine.
that Gloria and Torque live in.
Oh god, that would be fun. That'd be like that's like a Ponzi scheme.
that would be fucking hilarious if that happened.
Just real quick before we move on, question about Uxland. I know that a majority of the automatons are in the Empire. Mm-hmm. It's soul gem mines in Uxland. Are automatons common there?
Automatons are less common there. Uxland, the Serene Republic of Uxland is a ally of the Empire, and they have been for a considerable amount of time. Technically speaking, this whole section of the world, that's this little shoot off of the Empire here, Harham and all that sort of all the surrounding area, quote unquote, you know, sort of the reason the Empire was able to take it was because Uxland was their buddy, and you know, work for in the kingdom just simply couldn't stop it once that ball started rolling. But that's obviously, you know, hundreds of years ago. Uxland is generally considered to be relatively a good ally with the Empire, although Uxland has also made it pretty clear to the Empire that they don't want what happened with the Kingdom and with the McMarches to happen with them. Basically, you can, sure, we'll do trade and all that sort of stuff, but you guys leave your culture at the door. You know, like one of those things. So yeah, you might find
not gonna like this place then.
You might find automatons there, but they would be rare. They would probably be unique individuals who are there for some very specific sort of thing.
Okay, so let's have a rule here. Let us try not to split the party while in Uxland, because we might find they might be a bit prejudiced against us, you know.
Yeah.
Perhaps a bit.
There's a bit. It seems a bit prejudiced to anyone who isn't Uxlandian.
Well,
Uxlandian.
That can be kind of true. Yeah, actually. Hold on. I know I've got it. I know I have it here somewhere. Let me find it real quick.
Kind of like Japan.
Well, I bet you they're not that racist, okay?
I mean, like, there's levels, there's layers.
Like
as I have mentioned, kind of like in Discord and whatnot, Uxland, like sort of like the way that I call it flippantly, is like discount Skyrim. They are
Skyrim.
Yeah, it's like
Light edition.
Yeah, like Skyrim Light.
Racism.
Skyrim adjacent.
We ain't doing that casual racism. We're doing competitive matchmaking racism.
Hell yeah, skill-based racism.
That's terrible.
The average League of Legends game be like.
Real though, real.
I'm fucking right, god damn it.
Okay, so like I'm trying to honestly you could consider Uxland to be like, you know, like how Greater Scandinavia is to the rest of Europe. You know, where they're you know they're cool, but like they're also like a little weird. You know, they have, you know, very cold years. From the capital, you can see fucking icebergs all year round. So, you know, like it's a chilly place. But they're not like so different as to be like incredibly wildly, you know,
cultural whiplash.
Ultra cultural whiplash. It's not nearly that different. Okay. Oh, I just remember where I fucking put those notes. Okay, so I need to go. It's not even in this vault. It's in the OC information, because I wrote up information about like where Boer comes from.
Yeah,
Boer's from Uxland. Okay. Okay, so Uxland, specifically the capital of Uxland, Kingston, which is, you're not going to the capital, you're relatively near it, is far enough north to see long winters, sea ice, deep snows, and whatnot, and occasionally icebergs. Let's see here. The culture there prizes self-resiliency and cleverness in the face of the mystical. They stress that nature, capital N, is beautiful, like mystically, but deadly, also mystically. Loners and wanderers are shunned entirely or treated with extreme caution because they might be seeking to corrupt and or kidnap children.
Oh,
like that's a fairly common belief there.
Well, we're not here to kidnap children, that's for certain.
You'll just need to convince them that you're not here to kidnap children.
Well, to convince an entire nation, hey, we're not trying to kidnap anyone.
Let's see. They also are notable for having. Yeah, Diddy is not allowed across the border at all.
Oh, that's low-hanging fruit. I'm so tired of Diddy jokes, bro.
Shut the hell up. Didn't you make a Diddy joke like 2 days ago?
No!
That's why he's tired of them. Let's see. They also Uxlanders also have a well-known peculiar relationship with undeath and necromantic practices. necromancy.
Oh, damn, they're necrophiliacs. I see.
Necromancy in general is seen as distasteful, but is still like an honorable branch of magic. So just being quote unquote a necromancer is not enough to get spit on, but they're going to look at you funny.
Well, good thing we're not necromancers then.
Yeah, good thing we don't mess with the dead.
They see the creation and existence of physical undead with very little to no independent intellect as a time-honored cultural tradition that are used to keep important places protected from outsiders, specifically the Strix and the Golamas. The Golamas, by the way, are the bug dude that you guys talked to in the. That's Golama. Which, by the way, he was buying weapons to fight in Uxlan. That's specifically what we were trading him with.
Oh, well, I'm fine with that. Not my problem anymore.
But also, like, they don't like the Strix.
Well, good thing we're not bringing Betty. She probably would be like a second-class citizen because she's a vampire.
Uxlanders also practice a sort of ancestor worship, which is one of the reasons why they have such a strong like amount of like just soul magic in their general like location. Is because they've been worshiping ancestors. And they see these corporal undead as like lovingly preserved protector, like representations of their ancestors, kind of like. So zombies, skeletons, that kind of deal. Those thumbs up. Incorporeal undead, spirits that linger around for any reason other than to say impart wisdom or for something. Those thumbs down, big thumbs down. They also don't like undead that are rotting, even if they are physical, but if actively rotting and gross, they're also like, no, thank you. But they don't like spirits. They're okay with zombies, so long as they're dry zombies. If they're dry zombies,
So
they're okay with them.
They'd be semi-fine with Minnow.
Yeah, so they would be semi-fine with Minnow, except for the fact that Minnow is Minnow. They would just be like, oh, that dude eats children. That dude eats children. Kill him.
Yeah,
Kill him
he lives in a cryptid house. That feels Baba Yagi. It feels like kidnapped kids.
They would be like, put his torso, but only his torso, in the catapult, please.
I do have a question. Do they do trade of any sort with the other nations? Like regulated trade? Okay, yeah, because I was going to talk to Worf about that. I was like, hey, can we get like, I don't know, like some documents saying that we're here as like traders or some shit, you know what I mean? So that when we get there, they're not, 100% inclined to be pissed off with us, that we're just random adventurers,
You could pick up a letter of trade that just marks you as trade merchants of some variety. You could pick one of those up completely legally and officially in Harham, and it would be recognized in Uxlan.
Yeah.
So,
do you guys think that would be a good idea, just so that they're more inclined to be?
It would definitely give us safe passage.
Yeah, it would. We just be like, we're trade.
Or you could forge one. That's entirely possible.
Callie's forged a bunch of shit already.
Callie could forge it. June's got all the skills to forge one.
Forging gives a layer of if we are found out, we get in trouble. If we just go legally get one, if we do this, then this bad thing happens.
True. Probably would just be easy to get a legal document that says we're traders.
Tim's trained in legal lore, so he's like, I'll pay it just so we can get the proper paperwork for this.
Yeah, let's get the proper paperwork in hand so that we don't have to just forge all the fucking documents,
Okay, so during that 12 days, that means that somebody will go to the trade union, request this document, and then come back with it.
Then we'll go to Tim. Will go to the DMV.
The cost of a trade. The cost of a trade charter is one, the time it takes to physically get there. But the actual cost of one is 20 gold.
Got it.
So we're taking.
They do ask, however, like you have to tell them application when you. What are you trading? Like what goods are you trading for? What other goods?
I mean, what would I even describe the goods and services that come out of the workshop as? Like,
Metal.
Well, you could do basic metalwork. You could do construction supplies. Like none of these would.
okay,
They'd be stretches, but they wouldn't be lies. You also can very much craft weapons, armor. Like home goods. Technically,
Does that?
yeah, you
Let's
do
do
all of these
that.
things.
Let's
really do
go
all of these
wholesome.
things.
Let's go wholesome and say furniture.
for furniture.
Because if we do munitions, then there's like a layer of danger to it. If
Yeah, that is
things-
true. I mean, they would have to inspect us.
Now-
let's just go with furniture. They ain't gonna
We'll have
question
to
the mom
bring
and pop
some furniture
shop.
with us then.
Now,
That is-
so now the question is what do you want to trade it for? What are you going to trade this furniture for?
what do
Can't
they
we
have in
just put-
Uxland that we don't have down here?
Can't we just put mixed goods and services?
Yes, you can. You can be vague like that.
All right, let's just
Perfect.
let's just say mixed goods and services.
Tim's writing all this down. He's just there you go. Yeah.
Okay, mixed goods and services. Okay, the other thing about this being a legal
He's gonna
document,
say we're
Tim,
trading furniture for mixed good and service when we could have just said mixed good and service for mixed good and services.
Well, then that seems illegal.
well,
It's like
there's two things that you need to do before we sign this and make this fully done. Because I'm going to ask Tim to make a legal lore check here.
good.
Jesus
But
Christ,
the thing to make note of here is that whatever you trade for legally, the goods that you trade for, you have to bring them back through Harham in order for them to be taken note of by customs. So
shit. Damn it.
So when we go when we're leaving the Empire, we have to be out. When we come back, we have to be careful.
business over there.
yeah, so now the thing is, and Tim would, because this is a workaround that a lot of traders who are also basically just smugglers do, is that like you could say we are trading furniture that is made by the Pheno Workshop with Uxland for mixed goods and services, kind of like thing. Well, whatever your goods are, your physical goods that you come back with, they want you to come into Harham and then register those things. Technically, if you guys do stuff while you're there and you're just like, yeah, sure, I buy like a bagel, you're technically doing trade, but they don't expect you to bring back the like bagel before you eat it.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, we did stuff there, and they're like,
All
okay.
right, we'll just do that. Yeah.
So long as you have like, we're taking these 2 chairs that the Pheno Workshop made that weigh such and such pounds, and we're going to come back with goods that weigh between this much and this much. Here's the goods that we specifically traded for. So long as you just never mention any of the other stuff, they can't call you on it.
Off the book.
They don't ask, and we don't tell.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
never mention soul gems or any soul gem related things.
Yep.
you know?
Yeah, that would be the thing, is to not do that.
It's
Now, the other thing though that is kind of important here is that this is the first time that the Pheno Workshop is being put down on legal paperwork for doing trades for anything. So,
yeah, and I don't know if we want to put furniture.
So that means that in Harham, people will be able to be like seeing like, oh, hey, here's a place called Pheno Workshop. They do trade for furniture.
Yeah,
And then they could be like, hey, workshop, we'd like to place an order for like 17 chairs and a table.
I mean, that would be good. We have the equipment for it.
I was
Do we really want to put down furniture? Is this the kind of trade we want to do?
If we put down furniture, does that automatically make the Pheno Workshop a furniture only place, or does that allow us to be like, oh, this is a workshop where things are built Furniture is one of the things we build.
I guess so.
I mean, yeah, you can be like Hitachi. You can make dildos and tanks.
Yes,
General Electric.
exactly.
Oh my god.
The female workshop makes chairs and nukes.
Chairs, nuclear weapons, and dildos. You know, like that's
Actually,
you can
that's
have
made by
that.
Alma 2 doors over.
Well, yeah, but she's a
Genius.
subsidiary. But she's a subsidiary.
She's a
of
subsidiary.
The workshop.
Of the Fino workshop, yeah.
Great.
So really, I mean, technically, I'm just letting you know that this puts the Fino workshop on the books for the Empire.
That's how we can make money now.
I mean,
People might come buy stuff from us.
It was discussed with Worth about like contacting the Pathfinder Society and letting them know that the Fino workshop also made like weapons and armor and what stuff. So if they needed to, if you know, Pathfinder people needed to like resupply or get new gear or whatever, they could order it through the Fino workshop. That would be another way of like making money. But this is just basically officially putting the Fino workshop on the fucking books.
I mean, furniture's fine with me.
I can do something else, but I feel like furniture is probably
right.
the least suspicious.
Yeah, furniture for. I mean, like we could, if people ask, we just say that we were selling furniture this one time, and we can craft other things. You know. Like I get what you mean. Furniture is very like non-suspicious. Like who the fuck is gonna like inspect a ship full of furniture?
Yeah,
That shit sounds
that
boring
chair
as
looks
fuck.
odd. That doesn't make sense.
I guess we are doing GAL 8A Avengers submachine guns now, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm fine with furniture.
Yo.
It will put us on the map. That is good. And if that puts us on the map, that means that maybe some more trade will be passing through Kazmir, and more trade equals more development of Kazmir and
Yeah.
more money in our.
Yeah, all of that is true. So like that's all like good.
Oh, yeah,
and
could we
useful.
also like register that as well, like Kazmir as the location of the workshop as well? Is that going to be there as well?
I mean, yeah, you can go ahead and do that all at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, take care of that aspect of it.
Yeah. I can't. It's gonna be funny when Callie walks through the workshop door and there's a guy in the workshop who's like, "Hey, yeah, I want to mass order like 17 chairs. Can you guys do that?" So that's gonna be funny as hell.
Callie's part of that he did order a weapon, another money.
Money.
Hmm.
All right.
Money.
Do I need to roll something?
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to make a legal lore check, please.
Thank you. Oh hell yeah, he did it.
Hell yeah.
That was a 19, baby.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's good.
Tim, you are down 20 gold for the legal fees of putting all of this stuff together. You spend a good part of your day actually filling out a lot of paperwork at the Abadar Coin and Law, which is where they handle all of this stuff. So you take care of all of that, and like the priest of Abadar, who's there, like reading through everything, making sure all of the like I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, and all the blanks are filled in. Like tells you thank you for doing business with the Coin and Law, and they look forward to your return trip when you like cycle stuff through customs. Although he does briefly pause, like, and he's like, "What is the name of your ship again?"
Tim's gonna come up with this on the spot.
Oh no.
What is the name of your ship? What is the class designation of your ship?
Oh gosh.
Is out of character. Is Sky Barge the classification?
I mean, technically yes, but what he's asking you is essentially he wants to know that information so that they know when you pull into port where you're going to dock at the docks, because he's acting like it's a boat that goes in water. because skyships are not something that are common at all.
Oh, so it's a sky barge, first and foremost. So,
Sky barge. That's a weird name. Okay.
No,
Sky
that's the
barge.
classification.
What does that
It's
mean? What is the birth?
The clacking of the keyboards just sounds like we're at the DMV, and it drives me up the wall.
It's a boat that has a giant balloon above it that we use to fly.
You have to explain the fucking science behind it.
He asked what it is. I was like, it's a sky barge.
He works at this fucking place. He should know what this is.
I agree.
Gordon doesn't need to hear this. He's a highly trained professional.
Bro, who hired you? Can I speak to the manager?
Seamus whispers to Jude, I hate the DMV.
And the name would be the Flying Angler.
The flying,
I don't think it's the DMV, but it probably does start with department.
You know what? I'm
the
actually
flying, the Flying Angler. Okay, so ship name the Flying Angler. Designation sky barge ? Is what he's going to put down because their paperwork doesn't have a thing for flying vehicles. It's,
well,
it's
the first of its kind,
Yeah,
it's
they're
a boat that flies.
They're going to literally have to create a whole new fucking shelf on their filing system just for this.
There's a file for just our town. That's gonna be funny.
Because right now the only other airship that's in the area is a warship from the Navy.
Oh, dude, that just gives me a really good idea. Imagine if this actually the idea of mercantile sky barges kind of pops up, and then Callie builds a mercantile sky barge port or whatever. Oh shit! Now I'm thinking of a little far ahead. That's cool.
Now you're thinking with portals. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put down.
I guess this will definitely put us on the map as the first mercantile sky barge.
Especially because sky barges are probably quicker than most other forms of travel.
I mean, yeah, most travel doesn't allow you to just ignore mountains.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. This guy, you came in to tell this guy, hey, I want to get a legal trade charter to transport furniture from here to the capital of Luxland and everything. And you put on there that you are transporting this not via caravan, but by ship. So he's assuming you're going to sail all the way around the peninsula, all the way back up around. This is going to take you months to make this fucking journey. You're gonna fucking do it in 10 days.
We flying over.
That means we get enough time to forge exactly what happened.
All right, I'm gonna put down
forge a whole story about how it took us 4 months to get there, and half the crew died of dysentery or some shit.
All right, sky barge has been designated the Flying Angler.
I'm actually okay with this.
I'm glad you I was like, what's a good name for our flying ship? The Flying Angler.
Flying Angler. I mean, and it does have a crane arm that dangles off. So
Yeah, it's got Mr. Service on it.
It's got a Mr. Servo crane arm. Okay, so all of that said and done, you over this 2-week period or 12-ish days, Callie refurbishes the sky barge so that it is more livable.
How many days did you said we had of not so much downtime, but you said it was about 12 days?
About 12 days.
Okay.
So technically speaking, once that's all done, it is solstice celebration time. Mm-hmm. So Halfus Christmas is going on just just as the ship is finished, so that it can be like taken care of. I would assume that also during that time, when you guys figure out the setting up at the workshop a more robust kitchen and somebody who will be there to be able to prepare food and whatnot.
Yeah.
Gonna have like a
Yeah.
personal chef.
So
Callie. I just had a funny idea. Since it's Christmas, Callie just wraps up the book that was given to her by what was his name again? I always forget his name. The fucking cook guy.
Strix? Or no, Ixtil.
Ixtil. Yeah, Ixtil. She just wraps the book up and then gives it to her brother as a present.
A quick aside. Since kind of what I was asking, that I had been wanting to say, or not say, bring up, when the party returned back to Homestead, or I guess Casimir, June was going to, since June has been staying in Homestead this whole time, what she wanted to do was approach Torque and ask her something.
Okay.
Oh boy.
And she gets down on one knee.
There it is.
I'm joking.
Tim can't gasp. He gasps.
June asks Torque if she would teach her Orcish.
That is probably a pretty useful use of your time, actually. Yeah, doesn't it take
Torque
2
would be
or whatever?
Yeah, it takes about 2 weeks to get the basics down.
Mm-hmm. I looked it up. It says 20 days. It does say it does not have to be consecutive. So I can at least get some of it done. But yeah, that's what she.
But
wants.
yeah,
Probably a good idea.
Takes 20 days, you said?
Yeah, I've only used that easy
to learn
languages.
a new language in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, to so long as you've got somebody who speaks it, usually as a native speaker.
Then, yeah, like Lyria would ask Callie if she could teach her what's the language again?
The one, which one? The one of the Uxlanders? It's a Skish. Is that the one you were asking about? SCH.
The one that Callie and Seamus speak.
Oh, well then it's
Rasu.
Yeah, Rasu.
Yeah, Rasu.
Yeah.
So we'd have a third Rasu conversational.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's very sweet that June was like, "Hey, teach me your language."
But yeah, Torque is super down to teach as much dirty words as possible. She can.
Yes.
As she can to June.
I mean, I could
so
definitely see Callie.
So that for at least a week or so, she's gonna have June babbling in Orcish, just saying the most filthy stuff and not even knowing what it is. The comedy alone is worth it, but after that, then she's also got somebody else that she can converse with.
Tim just as a kind of kindness, he does some metal crafting and makes a little basically a roller for Gloria, just in case you're somewhere where you don't have somebody for you if you don't already know how to do it. It's just something to make it a little bit easier.
She's gotten pretty good at it, but honestly, having a little contraption that she can just, roll her own blunts with, that's honestly very neat for her to be oh, I just
where did Tim learn this?
Put in the wrapper.
Callie probably taught him. Let's be honest here. She is the one that is growing the weed in the greenhouse. After all,
I like to imagine it's one of those puts in the wrapper, puts on the weed, and then she just clam closes it chink, and it just does the roll for her, and she opens it blunt in there.
It's a magic item. It allows you to roll a blunt as well.
Yeah, it's basically a magic item. As far
That's
as
just a
that's
magic blunt roller.
I mean, it might as well be. It might as well be magic. It might as well be magical as far as like, Gloria is concerned. But like, yeah, her having like a little like, oh, it can just do that with a little like clink. Oh shit! I could like make a lot of these real fast. Because the faster she can make them, the faster she can smoke. Okay, but yeah, like I said though, Torque very happy to teach June Orcish. She looks forward, honestly, to the day where June and her could just like talk back and forth in like her native language, and they can flip flop back and forth on which language they're using.
Just mid dirty sentence, switch back to common by accident, and everybody in the group turns around and goes, "So."
It's like rapid fire Spanglish, but except it's like common and Orcish, Corkish, Comish.
I mean, it would be kind of funny though. I do imagine because Callie does already know Orcish, so I imagine like around the workshop while she's working on the fucking like airship, she just hears June randomly like swearing and trying to memorize all the words or whatever. And she's just like, "What the fuck?"
And she just like leans over and looks, and like, Torque like makes eye contact with her and just like does a little shake her head like, "No, saying it."
Saying it.
It's funny. But yeah. Okay, so then once all of those very many little details are set up, some things that I would like for us to do to just kind of like finalize our little bits and pieces here before the party is otherwise ready to head off. And I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know I have not prepared maps or anything specifically for the Uxlan travel yet. It's in my queue of stuff. I just have not been able to get to it just yet. But though, I want to make sure though that we all have some, say essentially in the how Casimir is developing, and there are some things that need to be done. So, obviously, of course, again, I want to make it clear that as far as like a subsection of the game, which is the like settlement building aspect of it, if you don't feel like involving yourself with it deeply in any sort of way, that's perfectly fine. Like, I'm not going to hold it against you if you just choose that you don't want to do that. But if you do want to, it's there and you can.
Yeah, it's nice.
So I just wanted to make it clear though that you guys, I'm not forcing anybody to be like, okay, when I put this fucking building or anything like that. But what I would like to do though is I would like to kind of like go down the list of each character. There is something that I would like your characters to essentially handle that is part of the building, and make me some checks. So, let me first of all bring up our party list.
Jeez.
Okay, let me bring up the party list. I want you guys to know that I still have like this list of PCs in here, and the title of this file is The Shitters.
Yeah.
I
imagine.
The Shitters. I do need to update it. But Callie, since you are kind of the core here, and
it is my workshop,
and the workshop is essentially going to be the thing that the rest of the town is getting built around, and nobody, amongst the NPCs, nobody's got a problem with that. I want to be clear. As a matter of fact, Gloria is actually kind of glad that it's that as opposed to like her cave, because like she'd have a lot of people around her, and she's not really comfortable.
I mean, that's fine.
You know, like she likes the homesteaders being part of the community and everything, but she also wants to be like over there by herself.
And that is perfectly fine. No one will fault
But as Callie is, you know, making this workshop truly the core of the town, and is also now setting up the whole like, hey, we're going to need a more robust kitchen over here, and I'm going to need somebody who's designated, probably a couple of somebodies who's designated as food prep, to be able to handle that. Since you are doing those sort of things,
yes,
I want Callie to make a society check.
Alrighty.
Pretty good.
Oh, right. Ooh, good. 25. That's very good. Okay, so
Believe it or not.
So Callie goes through, you know, negotiations essentially, and you know, like the kobolds and with, you know, the kolos and everything that are the specific sort of like Callie followers, really. They are the most obviously employed by the workshop, you know, people.
Yes.
Finds a couple of them which can handle food prep. So that is done and set up. They also at the same time ask Callie, you know, like some questions on as far as like with the kolos. Specifically, they want to know if Callie, as you know, their great mother, is Callie okay with other kolos, specifically female kolos, lesser ranked female kolos, joining the community, or alternatively, do they need to rove about and just randomly hook up with other kolos, you know, outside of the community?
Callie would probably answer in the most Callie way possible. Is like, well, I don't see a problem with it as long as I'm still the great mother in everyone's eye.
They're okay with that. They're okay with that. They just want to make sure.
Well, by I don't see a problem with it, I meant the first one and not the second one. The one where they go out and they hook up.
You can go get some other kolos. Just don't go like roving in our land.
Yeah.
Random people.
And where are they getting these other kolos from? Are they just like?
Well, there are kolos who are, you know, part of the greater community in Lariel. There are kolos who can be found in Harp. Like these are civilized people.
Okay.
They're not raiders. They're not like inviting random kolos.
Yeah.
They're like into the group.
Oh, I wasn't saying that. I thought that well, it wasn't like too far up north, but I thought it was like, you know, more a ways away where we, you know, kind of Shanghai these kolos from.
Shanghaied.
I mean, yeah. Their group primarily comes from the foothills area. Like, let me move us over here to the region map. Their group mostly roved in this area, like of Yellowstream. So like here in this sort of like foothills area before you get into like the mountains. Mm-hmm. That was the area that they mostly lived in. But there are kolos who live just like any other regular person, like in both Lariel and in Harham. And obviously Harham is closer of the two, but essentially they were just basically, they wanted to just float this past Callie. I'm like, hey, you're the lady who's in charge, but we do technically need other Kolo ladies to like make more Kolos. So are you cool with us bringing in other lady Kolos? Because the thing with Kolos is that they are very matriarchal, and the females have a tendency to challenge each other, but they have a very clear hierarchy that is set up amongst them. So Callie would be at the top, like technically Torque is also part of that.
Upper
Is
echelon.
it's part of that like upper circle, but she's below Callie as far as like who's in command, that kind of thing. But yeah, they were just questioning like, hey, can we bring like other Kolos here to like start families and do that other stuff?
Callie would obviously be like, yeah, I see that, no problem with that, as long as I'm still the Great Mother.
They're perfectly fine with Callie maintaining her position at the top. But yeah, that's just really what they wanted to bring forward. Question of like, hey,
right.
about that. Seamus,
Yes.
Johnny. Now, obviously, of course, Seamus hasn't had like a lot of, letting it go as it is, letting Callie, pull the strings, guide things along. However, though, there are two people who specifically would like to talk with Seamus, because they are also like arcane characters, and you're basically the main arcanist in the area, and they would like to consult with you on crafting a permanent ritual circle for arcane rituals.
That sounds
So
like fun.
since you're the highest level arcane caster, they would they would appreciate your input. So what I'm going to ask from you is basically Tristram, the blind like mage guy, and Alma, the Venara woman who is also the like crafter for the like magical gear. They want to install like adjacent to where the main body of the shop is. They would like to install essentially what is like a barn. It's about the size of a regular house, but there's no interior walls. It's just an open space, and in that open space would be where they would put the ritual circle. So if you guys ever needed to do like a ritual, there would be a spot that is designated for that and otherwise set up and ready to do that.
All right, I'm down.
I mean,
Okay. Then they need you to make a Arcana check.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, 34.
There we go.
There we go. Another 19 in the chat. Okay. All right. Well,
19.
okay. Well, then between the three of you, this is relatively easily done. Even though, like, Tristram is blind, he too can do the higher level detect magic, which gives him like magical echolocation. And that's how he like manages to like go around and do the circle and all of that sort of stuff. And they put in a what they call like a station circle, which is like where a caster will stand, so that you've got a ritual circle that has three caster stations. So basically you have one that is the primary caster, and then the others are secondary casters. So whenever you need to do a ritual, if you should have a need to do a ritual, somebody stands in the primary, and then they've got two buddies on the side, which are adding juice for the ritual.
Oh, okay.
But basically they just get this set up and then discuss with you on the like, okay, like some shelving and like things to store parts and whatnot for rituals and all that. And they basically just spend some going over what they would need for a bunch of basic kinds of ritual stuff if it comes up, and it probably will come up. So they just sit with you to make sure that a ritual location is done. All right. We'll skip over Jamal because he's not here today. But
Jamal just like
Laria. Yeah. Jamal's just like T-posing in the background. You know, like he's shifted at a 45-degree angle, mostly through Bethesda. Everyone's just trying to awkwardly ignore it. He's blurred out in the background of everybody's like character scenes. Okay, but Laria. Laria, one of the days that like Callie is getting things set up as we're approaching like the solstice. One day is very, very clear, clear skies, and you get that like feeling of like I should check in with the cosmos, and so when you're like just sitting there munching with your feet, staring at the sky, a single cloud appears, like literally just like appears, like it doesn't form. It's just clear sky. There's a cloud there. just right in front of you. Just boops into the sky. Like several hundred feet up. And it's not a big cloud or anything, but it is dark and gray, like a single rain cloud, like a sad little rain cloud that would float on just above somebody, raining specifically on them. But it pops up into existence, and I need you to make a is it here? It's religion check. That's what I need.
Religion. All right.
Boom, 21. Okay. All right. 21. Oof, that was a 9. All right. Well, still, it's good enough. I'm searching for a DC. So you're still good. DC 20. So you're still good. You're still good. But this little cloud pops up, and the cosmos, in a way that it rarely does, because cosmos is very rarely direct. But this little cloud, which no one else reacts to, by the way, as you're just like, standing there and other people are doing shit. Nobody else is just like, did that cloud just teleport in? But while you're there and you're watching, the little rain cloud drifts down until it's basically sitting slightly above the ground like fucking fog. It is see-through and all that sort of, cloud stuff. But it floats basically, like down in front of you. And in the mist that is swirling around, you see a very clear shape of what looks like a human, like a person. There aren't really any like details, but it's very clearly a person. Can't really tell like anything other than that. But they're there, and then they hold out their hand like to their sides. Like they A pose. They're not T posing. They're A posing. They A pose, and then they start to levitate slightly up and above, and they make some motions with their hands. And your religion check that motions that they are making are very similar to a death ritual, which is common in both the Empire and in Uxlan. And it is a blessing of the dead, protection of spirits, that sort of thing. And as it's making these like common motions, the mist also forms what is very fucking clear, a tiny version of the Skybar, the flying angler, coming up behind this person. They turn and look at the approaching angler, and then they like bug the fuck out, like they're like freaked out, and like run off and go downwards and vanish into the ground.
Yeah, that's a bit strange.
It then gets a little cold. I mean, it's already cold because it's when chilly, like right in your immediate area. And just to prove that you aren't actually like just hallucinating or something, like one of the other like NPC like townsfolk that's like just like walking by nearby is just like, why is it cold here? And just kind of like keeps going. But yeah, they're like, burr, bit nippy. But yeah, Larry has just visited with like a brief vision of some human-sized humanoid figure that can levitate, does death rituals, notices the approaching flying barge thing, and then like bugs the fuck out.
Yeah. Huh.
Well,
Yeah, she would probably just give Callie a heads up. Like, hey, whenever we like make it to Uxlin, yeah, like that might happen.
Callie's like sitting there, and she's got like black dust all over her face from like welding, and she flips up her welding mask. She's like, "Uh-huh. Well, I'll keep that in mind, I guess."
The Oracle do be oracling.
Yeah.
Oracle be oracling.
That's what Torque does when she's drunk. Oracling.
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 She orcs down the stairs orcally. But while you're communicating this over to Callie, Tim, you're currently with Gloria. They're at Gloria's cave, and she is just absolutely marveled, by this like gift that you have given her of simple but very effective like cigarette roller, effectively, and she is just like mystified as fuck by this thing. That I'm just like, wow, this is so amazing that she can just like, click this little clamshell together and it just spits out blunts.
Put more magic in it, I'd make it like an infinite blunt maker. Might have to run that by Callie, actually. Maybe I could figure that out.
Infinite blunt maker. I mean, I feel like we should make an infinite water maker first before we start talking about drugs.
Well, you have already been working on. You've already made the bottle of air and all that sort of.
I still need to figure out what to do with it. I was thinking of using it, like how Rusi said, to help the townsfolk a bit with the development.
I mean, there is that. Some other particular options though that might come up is you could use it to move your hot air balloon that like moves with the wind.
That is true. Yeah, you are right. I was thinking about doing that too.
Or using it for the air breathing, your air breathing only companions if you have to go.
That is true.
So,
I will keep that.
So those are
around
useful.
I will keep that around the workshop until Windows comes out.
That would be something to just tuck away. But Gloria is just like I said, she's just enamored with this thing. She really likes the click noise that it makes when she closes it. And she's very appreciative, Tim, that you made it out of this like nice tough metal, so it'll be mildly difficult for her to like accidentally break it. So she's very like happy about that. And while you're there, Gloria asks Tim that like obviously of course she was with the party, so it's not like she had an opportunity to get like Tim anything for the solstice. But it is a like in the kingdom and whatnot, it is a common tradition to give gifts during like the solstice and that sort of thing. And like normally she just like gives Torque like a couple of her blunts or whatever, or like some or she makes food or something for gift stuff. Gloria is not crafty in that like particular sense. She doesn't make things, but she can gather things. And she wants to know that when you guys head out on this like trip, is there anything that you would like for her to do or to gather or anything like that? And she can always do trade. And if nothing else, she can always just talk to Dan and place an order down in Vault Chamomile. Is there anything you would like her to do for that while you're gone?
I think maybe this is a bit more. I don't know how available this would be for you, but if you happen to, if you could get any more information on automatons or anything like that, I don't know how possible that would be, from Dan or from any of the people locally, but any information like that would be good. And then
Like
if
what kind
not,
of information?
Tim's gonna write down on like a piece of paper that he has. He's gonna write Viva Machina. He's like, maybe don't mention this to everybody, just people you feel like you might be able to trust. Maybe Dan specifically. And he hands her the sheet of paper. Maybe just any like locations where a collection of automatons might be at, somewhere where I can just talk to some more of them.
Okay, I can do that. I'll talk to Damon about it. He's pretty good. He's got connections that go all the way down the Mushroom Road. So, if anything's happened down there, he'd probably know about it. If we're talking about people trust up here, well, I guess I could probably ask maybe Doc Button. She was in the Navy, so they've got automatons on the boats, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I could ask her. Maybe I can get somebody to go down into Harham or Whitford or something to ask. I mean, I'd ask Torque, but she's going with you guys. But yeah, I can ask around. I can do that, Tim.
Yeah, that'd be great. And maybe if we're talking an item, if there's anything nearby, as for gathering, that's like a good lubricant. The stuff that I've been using, my joints are still a little stiff. If you happen to have anything or know of anything somewhere
Meanwhile,
around
Callie
here,
still has a barrel full of gear bender oil. Just sitting around the workshop, like just there, Oh man, I wonder what kind of lubricant.
just dip Tim in it like a fucking popsicle.
Tim's doing this to be nice. He's like, he wants to give Gloria something she can go get.
Well, again, since she does have connections down the Mushroom Road, technically have access to getting like natural oils, and whatnot. But that'll be something that she will see if she can find something that would work as a good lubricant for Tim's joints. She'll look into that for you.
Before like Tim leaves, he asks her to lean down and just like pecks her on the lips. His cold metal faceplate just
bunks her.
He tries to do it as softly as possible. Bunk.
She nods her head and she bonks her stubby horns against like Tim's forehead. And then like you see her like look to the side and then she looks to the other side for a second, and then she just reaches past Tim to like the door, and she like flips the like latch down to like lock the door. And then I'm gonna have to ask.
What?
For what now?
Like a fort save.
Oh god.
Yes! The best fort save I've ever made.
All right. So, metal pipe falling noises.
Tim, you are not crushed flat.
You are not.
Like
You are
a
not
tin
a crush
can.
fly.
I forgot to ask what my brother's reaction to him was giving that book as a gift for the solstice. We can probably wait on that one though.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, generally, he was very grateful to receive a gift. So just because his sister gave him something, he was quite happy with that. And he's actually rather looking forward to going on this trip with you to show that he's better than just he's got more use than sitting here at the workshop babysitting the kobolds while they craft shit. Which actually, that is another thing. Is there projects or anything Callie wants them to get started on while she's on this trip? Because I believe otherwise we've cleared the queue of
yeah,
things.
we did clear the queue. We cleared the queue of the bottle air and the. Okay, well then I guess if I've got the bundles of lead weave, it probably would be a good idea to get started on the lead weave bag of holding this, wouldn't it? To get that started anyway.
Yeah, that would be probably the best thing to work on next.
I really appreciate. It's. How much? Hold on. How much would that be? Just to keep that in mind. That I. Money.
I will let you know later because I do not have it in my notes at this moment. But I will check that. And I will let you know.
Alrighty. Hold on. Let me look something up real quick. Decanter of endless water. Hold on. What the hell is this?
Yes, by the way.
Oh, hey, there's a bottle of endless water. Yeah, let's get that started too, honestly. You know what? Bottle of endless water could be useful too. You know. It's called the decanter of endless water, which is literally just an ordinary glass that looks like it's full of water, and then the moment you open it, there's three words.
You can just pour water forever out of it.
Yeah, which since we got farmers here,
water would be useful.
What endless water? Yeah. And
endless
just like
fresh
Actus
water.
said, yeah, and like Actus said, can I eat it?
Well, I mean, he knows that if it's a bottle of endless water, he can drink it.
So yeah, that would be good.
Wait,
I think we should...
wait, is it bottle of endless salt water?
I'm looking here. It doesn't say. It says kanji. The item looks like an ordinary glass full of water. I mean, it can be, but I don't think we want salt water. We want fresh water, right? The stopper can't be removed unless you speak one of the item's 3 command words, each of which causes water to pour forth in a different way. Pulling the stopper straight out creates fresh water, and rotating as you pull creates... Okay, so it can create both fresh water and salt water. It just depends on where it says pulling the stopper straight out creates fresh water. Okay, so we pull out the stop... Yeah, so if we put the stopper in... It says... and then rotating it as you pull it out creates... Okay, so it can create either or. So if we just...
fresh water or salt or fish?
Freshwater fish.
Makes sense.
That's actually really cool.
Yes. Which, Rusi would also, need fresh water.
Yeah.
Or excuse me,
who's cute and deserves.
He would need fresh water.
This
Although
streamer.
the two of you can exist perfectly fine in salt water, as you do live in the ocean. But
Laria has a spell that's just create water.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Laria can also just sprout water if she has to.
Yeah, so so the decanter, I definitely want to do and I can craft it because it's an item 7. And I think that would be very, decanter of endless water would be useful. Considering it can make endless fresh water. And the 3 commands it says here on the page are activate, command, interact, effect, speaking stream, you cause water to pour out at a rate of 1 gallon per round. Activate, interact, effect, speaking fountain, you cause water to pour out in a 5-foot long stream at a rate of 5 gallons per round. and then geyser create a powerful deluge of water to erupt at a rate of 15 gallons per round. You can distract the stream at a creature, subjugating it to the effects of hydraulic push. A spell attack roll plus 15. You can preview this once per round as long as the geyser continues, spinning an interact action to direct the geyser each time.
Yeah, so it's a fucking water hose that you can activate on command, except there's no hose.
There's no hose.
I mean,
Speaking
if you
of
create one
which,
of those, you've got hose.
I mean,
All you
how
gotta do
it
is
could-
just pinch your thumb over it, and then you create the hose.
Yep.
don't worry about that right now, but this could be something. Midlands. What is this? I gotta look this up. What the hell is this? Used by caravan guards to non-lethally deter game, and I mean, yeah, I could definitely once we get enough.
Yeah. I was gonna say this would be for like way when we're able to like start producing more magical items, but this would be good to the lieutenants and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I think okay, so I'll get maybe those two should be worked on. The lead weave bag of holding, and then the decanter of endless water. I feel like that one would be useful just to put in. Useful for a lot of things, honestly. Probably for supplying the farmers with fresh water and the rest of the townsfolk, honestly.
Okay.
So that we don't just drain the entire lake on his.
I mean, that would be problem. I mean, if you were like draining the entire Jeff would come completely. Jeff would probably get a little bit angry about that, and probably at that point, that is when Kodlaka would show up and be like, "Hey, yo, I told you not to do that."
Now I'm calling the Eagles on you.
Calls in the fucking Air Force.
I feel like explaining this one would be a lot easier to explain for to Gak this. She's like, yeah, okay, so you know how you guys made a bottle of endless air this time? We're gonna do the same thing, except this time it's a bottle of endless fresh water.
And sometimes salt water.
Yeah, just don't twist the bottle on when you.
just make sure you turn the cap to the right setting before you unleash.
Otherwise,
I'm so thirsty. Accidentally turns it, goes to.
Just full salt blast right in the face.
Geyser attack.
I can drink a geyser's worth of water.
15 gallons per round. Holy shit!
A round is 2 seconds.
Well, a round specifically is 6 seconds. So that means in 6 seconds you can fill a bathtub, and then.
Oh my god!
That has to be like a crazy amount of pressure.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, yeah, that's why it also says you can use it as a hydraulic push against enemies.
So I mean, yeah, if you needed to like riot control and you wanted to like just shove people around with a fucking hose, you've got one.
Now we got 2 hose.
Okay, so are you gonna put that onto the into the workshop as like the next like thing for them to work on?
Yeah.
Okay.
That and obviously the other things.
Okay, so the radiation-proof version of.
Yeah, so that we can collect radioactive material for no suspicious reasons at all.
Zero suspicious reasons.
We are not building a fusion generator. We are not going to use fission to power. We're not going to use fission power to power this town.
We're totally not going to do that.
We are totally not going to do that, and we don't need any endless water supply to cool that nuclear reactor.
Oh god! I just realized. Yeah, we could make a nuclear. Now that you've said that, I think I actually am going to use that. We're going to have nuclear power. I didn't realize that there was the progression of things, but now here we are.
I will say, if we create nuclear power now exists.
I mean, as long as we share it with people, which Callie is fucking not gonna do, obvious.
You think we're not gonna? So the larger our place gets, the more people come in, and we can't trust every person.
How are we gonna how are we even gonna explain to them how nuclear power works? There's gonna be like a bunch of peasant farmers. Imagine trying to explain fission to them. They're not gonna understand.
Like 99.9% of everybody who is walking here in town and just in the general region around you has only the most basic concept of what germs are. And if you were to be like, oh yeah, and we're also going to be splitting atoms, they'd be like, what the fuck is an atom?
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh, it's a teeny tiny thing, and we're going to break it. Wow. Lazy ass shit. I can break teeny tiny things with my hands. You know, like they would not only not understand, pressed in the least, you know?
Yeah, 99% until the 1% are the same group.
I mean, now there are going to be a couple of people who would kind of understand what the but it does not take though that much intelligence to figure out this is power. This is an infinite source of power. It takes once that part is understood, that's the thing you're gonna have to worry about.
Leads me, how does Callie know what that is?
How does Callie know what fission is?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think Callie knows what fission is.
No, Callie does not know what fission is. Callie is several steps away from ever figuring that out.
Yeah. Though it probably wouldn't take her long to figure. It wouldn't take her long to figure out nuclear power. I'll tell you that.
But
she already has all the things she needs for it.
Well, I mean, like the other thing is I mean, nuclear power, when you get down to it, is having a nuclear infinite heat source that boils water, creates steam, and that turns a turbine. The whole turbine turning thing, Callie's at that point. And the whole I need steam to turn this, Callie's at that point. I need heat and water to make steam to turn the turbine. Callie's at that point. It's just the infinite source of heat that is the nuclear power part.
And how do we do that?
It's not. I mean, she's not.
This
far
stuff
off,
is putting
honestly.
out a lot of heat.
Yeah,
I mean, all it'll take is her figuring out that. Yeah, all it'll take is her figuring out that radioactive material taught. That's all it'll take.
The only worry is, what happens if you trial and error with nuclear power?
It's called Chernobyl. That's what happens.
Yeah.
We call that 3 Mile Island.
3 Mile Island?
This isn't, from my experience,
which again,
danger in the real life.
Just as a weird side thing. Fucking Amazon is thinking about restarting the rebuilding and then nuclear reactor to run their fucking AI services.
Jesus
Christ, dude.
I can't believe that is a real thing in the year.
This feels like we're getting closer and closer to Night City.
Like the monkey paw curls.
Bro, yeah, no. We're in the dystopia, but we're not even in the fun dystopia.
We're just in the sucky one.
Yeah, I don't get robot wives and robot legs and arms. I'm in the sucky one where we got nuclear-powered AI.
That's honestly, if you ask me what the lamest futuristic thing could possibly be, I think nuclear is the single lamest futuristic sounding thing in the world.
Nuclear
it's like, what are you? Huh? Anyway, back to the Pathfinders game.
Anyway, back to where nuclear power is fun and comical. So, with all of these things set up, June is our last PC on the list here to have like a little bit of something to do with the town and everything. And during this time, June is quite a bit of her time with Torque, mostly comically, but slowly becoming serious about teaching her how to speak Orcish. So, during one of those particular times, though, when Torque is teaching June the actual Orc alphabet and that all that aspect, and like, okay, if it's written like this is the equivalent of like an A. But if you turn it sideways, it's like the equivalent of a long A. And then if you turn it upside down, it's capitalized. Like shit like that. So she's given lessons in Orcish, which is not really a very complex language. But it is, it's got a lot of good equivalents with Common, enough so that it is, the ideas are coming across. June is slowly starting to pick it up of like, okay, all right, I'm starting to understand some of these things. Why does she keep giggling when I say it like that? Like these things are going on. And during one particular session, Torque excuses herself. She's going to go like grab lunch for the both of you at the new kitchen that Callie has gotten like set up at the workshop. So while June is just kind of like chilling out in like the there at the camp area, into the camp area comes a very like worn out looking kind of beat Gacthus.
Okay, Gactus. Okay. Sorry,
okay.
I was the.
Okay.
I gotta get my mind out of the gutter.
Like he's just kind of like he looks like he's been working out. Like he's he was already a relatively muscular kobold beforehand, but like dude's been working out. But he's also got like some slight bruising, like around one eye. He's missing one of his fangs.
Oh shit!
Like
he doesn't. He looks like he's been a little roughed up, but he doesn't. But he does not look or act like he is distressed. Just simply, he's kind of tired.
Yeah, sorry.
And,
I thought at the start I thought you were talking about Tim, but June will kind of sit up and just be like, "Are you okay, Gactus? What happened? Did you get into a fight?"
Yes, but not like not bad fight, Miss June. I have been doing some practicing combat, the fighting with that green guy, Vindig, and I was gonna show some of my moves off to Termite, and things got a bit maybe a bit beyond what was intended, but I gave back just as good as I got. It was good sparring match.
She's just gonna be like,
it is time to take a break.
She's gonna be like kind of like looking him over, kind of not babying him, but just like kind of like doting on him a little bit, just making sure like nothing's serious, and he says like he give him back just because it's looking like she scratches underneath his chin.
Well, how are you doing, Miss June? I didn't mean to come in looking quite as much of a mess as I am, but I was hoping, it's solstice time, so I was wondering if you would like a tour of Warren that we made. I would like to show you where we are all settled up now and have space and room for doing everything. It's very comfortable, and we were certain to make a big central room that is big enough for humans. It's not that big, you could fit. Miss Torque could fit. Like both of you could fit at the same time, but any more than that be too much. But is comfortable for someone to come by and sit and talk with us. Is I like to call it our entertaining room. But I would like to show you our Warren. You have been so kind to us and have helped us grow in ways that I never would have expected even just a few months ago. So now that we're on good footing and have good home and good food and everything, everyone is in high spirits for solstice, and I would like to share that high spirits with you, if you have time, of course.
Well, June takes a page out of Callie's book and gives Cactus a little head pat, and just says, I'd love to see it, Cactus. I am glad to hear that everyone is in good spirits and comfortable. I do think back to when we first met and seeing you all living in such horrible conditions, and it does reassure me to hear that now you are all living in much better conditions, and it makes me happy that you want to share that with me. So I would love to see it. I'm not doing any sparring like you. I'm learning Miss Torque's language, her tongue, so to speak. I just thought it would be useful to learn it, since she and Sirhan and now our new guest, Betty, and her group speak it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Torque does have good tongue.
She kind of raises an eyebrow at that.
I have seen Betty. Not really had time to talk much with her. But I went by the fort place that they are refurbishing, and I talked to one of the orc, and I tell them that now that Warren is done, we are helping out everyone getting fixed up, so we will be by there to help them as well.
And they're treating well?
Yes, they spoke with politeness. They did not dismiss me as pest or anything like that. So it was good meeting, very short, and only one that did not treat well was Pig, Big Pig. Big pig with big tusk did try to bite my tail. I did not let it bite my tail, but I see the real the big one, the one Betty. She have real pale skin and have the bright color eyes. Goblin eyes, actually. She kind of
spooky.
Yes, spooky, good word. But also impressive, I guess, would be good common for that. In dragon, in Kobold speak, we would use term that means something like dangerous, but in attractive way.
Scarouse.
June. June kind of
Right.
chews over that. Can't say I disagree. Although I think I will keep my distance for now, though Sirhan trusts Betty, and so I will trust Sirhan.
He seemed to be positive about her. And the other orcs, they not like seem bad people. I when visit, part of what I do was to give call it sniff test. Check vibe, how they feel they would be. I think they work out. Maybe they bit rough around edges, but so were we. Our edges are worn down, but like not because we are tired, but because we are becoming polished. Like gemstone. This also happened to them soon, I think.
June kind of smiles and says, I think that is an excellent way to say it. Polished, not smoothed down.
Yeah, is I think good metaphor. But if
I think Cactus has been spending a little too much time around Cali.
Megaphor.
Also, he did relatively recently take a punch to the face.
Yeah, that's also true. Poor guy.
But Gactus, he stretches and you hear vertebra in his back and tail popping as he stretches up and gets all the way up. And in fact, June can see that not only has he put on some muscle mass and all that sort of stuff, kind of perhaps weirdly, when he does force himself to stand up straight, he's probably gained 2 to 3 inches in height.
Whoa!
Oh, sick, bro.
He's getting bigger.
He's literally kind of evolving, sort of thing.
Roll to check out.
Roll to check out. Let's go.
Maybe keeping that.
Actually, I have to check. Hold on, I gotta check that.
You doing
Jamie,
a
pull that
hotness
up.
roll? Hotness roll.
Hold up, I gotta pull that up.
No.
Let's see here. Gactus, where's your thing? Okay, all right.
It's
Gactus.
probably below his waist.
Well, I mean,
That's just.
He beat me to it!
That's
Damn
probably where
it!
she's looking.
okay. Well, you know what? Gactus notices.
Shoot!
Right down.
He does notice eye up and down on him for a second, but he doesn't do anything about it. But he does sort of slouch slightly, so he's back into a more comfortable comfortable stance, and he looks up at June and he says, "When you are free, probably sometime after sun go down, come by Warren, and we will show you, new place, and share in spirit of holiday celebration, do diplomacy, that kind of stuff."
Diplomacy, yes.
Yeah.
Should I come with Miss Torque or alone?
and hold on, I gotta make a check.
You're gonna say, can this man blush?
Let me make a check. What is June's perception DC?
10 plus the circle, right? That'd be a 25.
All right, 25. Okay, you can beat this. You can beat this, Cactus. You can. It's theoretically possible.
We got
But he doesn't know. You see him do that, like, scratch like behind his ear for. You can burn Torque.
Then, like, we got two PCs enjoying the Christmas spirit.
He's just like, yeah.
Meanwhile,
He's trying to be casual about it. He's not being actually all casual about it. And as he's like, sort of like stuttering through that, speaking of, Torque comes back up into like camp, and she's got a couple of bowls of like hot soup and some rolls and things like that for her and June to like have lunch with. And she comes over and she sees Cactus and she's like, "Hey, how's it going, Cactus?" And like they have like a little bit of conversation, and he lets her know that she is cordially invited to share in the solstice spirit down in the Warren, later in the evening. And Cactus kind of like, rushes through it of the whole like, "Hey, yeah, you're invited, blah, 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 blah. June's invited, blah, blah, blah." And, he, turns, at that point, he kind of like gets a little overloaded and like, leaving June and Torque there to have some lunch with each other and finish up their current orcish lessons. But yeah, he just comes by to give you guys a hey, come have a housewarming party with us, solstice evening. But yeah, so they do that. And Torque, kind of after Cactus leaves, Torque like leans over to June and she like lowers her voice, even though she has no reason to. Literally, she like lowers her voice and she's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Termite told me that that he and the other Colos got like permission from Callie," and she kind of like and she like brings up her fingers to like quotation marks, "the Great Mother," that they could like set up like a little like place of their own. Like, I'm not sure what the examples are of that, but like he said that when they were done, we were invited over to like housewarming. and she gives like the like rolling eye. Housewarming. Don't know when that's going to be done, but like you're also invited to that.
That's now June and Torque planned for the kobolds and the Colos.
What the fuck, man?
It's canon now.
Damn, they're sleeping with all of my workers, I see.
Morale.
Yeah, morale.
Yeah, it's morale bonus.
Morale.
Should
just don't tell Callie, she'll look at you.
Should we fade to black and have June and Torque make con save?
You know what?
Fade to black, and then it's the Arthur like story time thing.
Fade to black. Give me a fort save.
Fort save, yeah.
Hey.
Hold on. And not to be outdone. Let's see here.
She did better than Tim did, though. Tim was going against, 8 foot tall. Looking.
I mean, to be fair, Tim gets crushed like a soda can.
All the goddamn time.
I mean, does happen.
I started thinking of that video I shared. Hold on, I gotta find it.
Clang, 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 clang.
Yeah.
Callie wakes up the next. Callie wakes up the next
literally just
morning.
that noise.
Yeah. Callie wakes up this morning to Tim have finally like crawled his way from the mines to her workshop. Hey, can you
I'm gonna need some of that joint lube.
I'm gonna need some of that joint.
Dip me.
Callie's looking at him like, oh, hold on, man. Callie's been worked to fucking death this whole fucking like couple of weeks. Like she's been trying to teach Larry and Rosu in between having to work on the barge, in between having to also work with Tim, getting the trade agreement, in between working with Worf to make sure the Avalon Mine Company doesn't get here, working in between with everybody. She's just being run back and forth between all of this shit, and Tim coming by just like, I need some joint lube. Callie's like,
Tim would probably
okay.
not even ask Callie. Tim's just gonna be like, I'm gonna take a selfie soldier, just like back to the front line.
I'd imagine Callie at this bags under her eyes like, oh man, I need a fucking break.
Well, thankfully, one is coming. But yeah, this is kind of the shit you gotta deal with. See, that's like doing...
Miss Callie, we need you to sign here, sign there, sign here as well.
I think
sign this.
I was gonna say, I think after Solstice and all that happens, Tim is with Callie. Anytime paperwork needs to get signed, he either signs the paperwork or like takes, like if Callie is personally hand doing something, he'll take over for the moment so he can go sign and then kind of move back. Anytime he's not like with family or with Glory or anything like that, shop helping Callie as best he can.
I found it.
Oh gosh.
Yoo-hoo! You're getting the operation.
Yep.
Oh god.
Hey. Yeah.
That was fast.
Yes is the answer.
Okay. Well, all of that fun hilarity aside, the party takes care of these various like actual tasks that need to be done, these various interpersonal things, and they have a just great fucking solstice celebration. Everyone is there. Food, there's decorations, there is song, there are games, gifts are given and exchanged. There's just a whole lot of like, everyone is in extremely good spirits. Things are looking very up.
Especially Callie, she's sleeping, standing up.
she's just like locked her suit in position. Is just like.
Her Christmas is she sleeps all day and she wakes up and it's just there's food and some gifts and some. She needs a break. We don't let her sleep for as long as she needs to.
I mean, yeah, having in between all of the stuff she's been having to do this couple of weeks, yeah.
Yeah, Callie has been like crazy busy. But with all of that said and done, as we close on the solstice, and I think, honestly, probably this would be where we're going to like do our final like setup for what the party is going to do, and then the party gets moving. My first question is going to be after the solstice. So I'm going to say that the party continues through the 20th. So starting on the 26th of December, how much time do you guys want to take before actually getting on the flying angler and setting course for the big glowy sky beam and start heading in that direction? How much additional downtime do you want to, if any?
Should we say like 4 or 5 days? Like once the sky barge is completely done, we could spend like 4 or 5 days doing our best, like as a party, to help actually start building out the town and getting the stuff finalized before we leave. Unless that's been happening a ton during the 12 days.
I mean, that probably happened a lot during.
Oh yeah, that's mostly been going on. 12 days.
I mean, I'd imagine.
I mean, we've Callie Callie's been busy with a lot of different things, but so have you guys. Like, you guys have all had like helping people with like literally like moving logs and like setting up lines and everything for like houses and all of that sort of jazz. So like the party has very much been an active participant in the physical building of this community. So as far as that's concerned, you don't really technically need to make any more. The 24th was when everything was done. The 25th is kind of like everybody gets a day to just rest, and also, you know, just enjoy the gifts of the solstice and that sort of thing. So on the 26th, after that has been done, is there any additional time that you guys want to take downtime before the
Callie wakes up in her seat, and there's like a gift on her fucking, like, there's a gift in her, like, like sitting in front of her or whatever that she didn't open.
Like, Rusi has filled her stocking with just like a pound of fucking fish jerky.
Dangerous. That sounds good.
Like, he's got some fish jerky. He's got some sea urchin ornaments that he's got like made for like general decoration. And he has also, just as a personal gift to his sister, he has gotten little starfish earrings for her. He actually has no idea if her ear fins are pierced, but like, he like saw them during one of the like trips out to Harham and was just like, I'll get those for Callie. That would be, he thinks that would look really cute on her. So 2 little starfish earrings that he gives to Callie as a gift.
Very adorable. She'd open these up because she probably wakes up after the solstice has already happened because she slept there all bit.
Oh yeah, like totally. Like, after everything's, you've got this.
Everyone's
you've got
partying. And she's sitting there. And she's still there, but everybody else is gone.
Just sitting there snoring away.
There was a couple of times where somebody walked over to try and get her, and Mr. Servos just
like at some point, Rusi, you know, like comes by with a blanket, just drapes it over her.
Yeah, I was about to say, if Rusi wouldn't, Jin would have put a blanket, or at least tried to.
Yeah, I think as soon as Callie wakes up and finds out she's probably been sleeping for the last 24 hours or so, fuck, I had it and then it disappeared out of my mind for a second. I was gonna, oh shit, what? God damn it, I had something I wanted to do before I left, and God damn it. Hold on, let me think about it for a second.
Big 4 gore. Don't worry, I did it too.
I pulled a danger.
Yeah.
For gore.
I got a bad brain.
I mean, can't blame her. She'd been sleeping the last 20.
100%. I think last thing would just be like, for Tim at the very least, would just be like saying his goodbyes and stuff before we got ready to go.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Are we gonna actually take furniture with us, by the way, or are we just gonna like keep that on the trade dock?
I mean, Tim legally signed documents.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
furniture.
if Tim returned saying that we were going, he would look at.
Like he has to legally turn in receipts.
I thought it'd be like, yeah, we made like a table and 2 chairs.
So you'll need like some quick, pieces of furniture that are the quote unquote legal cargo.
Yeah, just go around taking some chairs and some tables here and there. That's probably what Callie's gonna do after probably waking up and finding out that Tim signed off the docket as we are trading for. We're trading chairs and tables away, for mixed goods and services.
Mm-hmm.
Callie's like, he did what?
Said what?
It was the least suspicious thing I could think of. I didn't want to go there. goods sounds like drop.
I mean, at least she got some rest.
Yeah,
But still, that is a rude awakening. Somebody waking, telling her that they have to now.
Well, Tim would have told her this on like day 3 because it wasn't. Tim wouldn't have waited
Yeah.
to do all that.
I just find it funnier if she
It's
found
100%
out, like-
just last moment. Hey,
Yeah.
we need like 2 chairs and a table, and you got that.
We also need you to put your like maker's mark on it, so that they know you, so that you made it.
Just stamp it in there.
Other than that, she probably just do like her, which is reloading the entire magazine, or the harmonica gun magnet, the tank, and then cleaning all.
Yeah, just doing all the like actual like
preparation,
prep stuff that you normally do. Okay then. So then I'm going to assume that the party is going to load up on the 26th and head out there. So if nothing otherwise like screws with your travel plans, the party is otherwise scheduled to reach their destination. We're going to just round up and say 10 days. So you've got, so like 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So on the 5th of January, 1751, the party's going to be pulling in their skyboat.
The upgrades that we did, we weren't able to like increase speed at all.
Oh no.
We made it so like it doesn't suck to drive it.
Yeah, you made it so it doesn't suck ass.
We made a comfortable van that we're going to be going on a long road trip in.
Yeah, you just made a very comfortable van.
It's the family vehicle.
But the benefit is the fact that it can go straight lines over long distance. You have to follow roads if you don't fucking want to. You do have a general map of the area. That was one of the purchases that was made. So you do have one of those. And of course, via the Ring and Seamus, you've got a way to just hone in on the big-ass portal that's over there so that you're going in the right area. It is not where the portal is at. I want to be clear on that. The portal and where this soul stuff is, or the soul gem stuff is not in the same place. They're just very near to each other. So once you get in the area, you'll need to look around for, landmarks for where the fucking soul gem mine is.
It was roughly this area, right? Or like this?
Yeah, it's roughly in that direction. It is 800 miles.
Oh shit!
Let me pull it up real quick.
Okay, yeah, we're way farther than that.
Yeah.
So we're actually gonna go across the border. Like, is there any like issues, or do we just kind of like no one's expecting a ship flying, so like no one's really looking at
Yeah, I was about to ask, because technically you're actually going to be crossing through Wargfor and then into Uxland, so you're going to technically be cutting through, the pink area. You could.
I mean, would they care so much if we were flying like mercantile colors?
Well, I mean, if you're basically, you just get a merchant's flag, like that literally came with the purchase of
Slap that on the bottom
paperwork.
Like
yeah,
that,
so you just put the merchant's flag just coming off the side or the bottom or whatever of the sky barge, and yeah, they're going to be. But I mean, my other question is like, you roll up to the border, assuming that you roll up to a place that's populated. How are they going to stop you? Like,
I mean, yeah, that is true.
And they just gonna start firing cannons at us.
I mean, they could fire cannons at you. They could. They would have to hit you with cannon fire. Mm-hmm.
Plus, I'm sure.
And I would assume
flag. Yeah.
Yeah. And if they see the flag, and let's assume that they're like in good faith. Oh, this giant flying device, which we have never seen anything like before in the history of the world, has a merchant flag on it. We're just going to take that at face value. But yeah, so I honestly I was thinking would happen on the trip as you guys like cross the border. Like you'd have like some dudes in like a little like 3-story tall, fortification thing with like spears and whatnot, looking up at you like, what the fuck is that thing? And then probably moments later, they would send like a runner or somebody on horseback. Or if they've got the stuff, they would also be like, I send a message on this enchanted bird to like fly this to like the capital to like let them know a fucking airship just passed across the border.
Oops, did we just cause an international incident?
Well, I mean, you could, except for the fact that again, like nuclear energy and germs,
they don't really
international airspace is not really a concept that these guys have yet. I mean, the Empire, because they are making warships that fly, they're about to invent that concept. Like that concept is about to be invented. But these other countries at the moment would have absolutely fucking clue on how to respond, like quote unquote legally or whatever, to an airship just crossing the border. It'd be like, the hell is that? But also, these countries are also at this point very familiar with the Empire putting forth technology that is just leaps and bounds beyond them. So, on the other hand, they'd be like, oh, they fly now. Fuck, they fly now.
They fly now.
They fly
God
now.
damn it, they came up with flying mercantile business. God damn it!
They're better than us.
Somehow the Empire returned.
Yeah.
No, don't remind me of that.
Yeah. How does it feel to be on the other side?
Misa don't like that. I'm gonna shoot myself in the face.
Bro, I'd rather go back to Jar Jar.
Oh god. I mean,
Jar Jar was not as bad as it could get.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing is, as soon as they act.
As soon as what?
Oh, you cut out there.
Well, I was just saying, as soon as they get their own flying machine, pod racing.
Now this is pod racing.
Now this is trod lacing.
I mean, that just means more benefits.
That's so wizard.
More.
That needs to come back.
Yes, it does.
Hey,
Wizard, yeah.
you're at a 12. We need you at a. Honestly, we could use a 12 right now.
Okay, but as I stated before, you guys are embarking on a 800-mile long journey. Most of this is going to be over extraordinarily sparsely populated land. Now, technically speaking, your characters will not know this immediately, but eventually checking, your heading and the map that you did purchase and all that sort of stuff, will let you know that you are going to actually fly over one very large city in between where you're going to. So if you keep in a straight line, you will literally be passing, over buildings of a major settlement that very much will have cannons.
Yeah, and honestly, probably strong wizards. They might just disintegrate.
Oh yeah, we're talking we are talking a city that is scale with 20,000 plus population.
Whoa.
Yeah, how about we go around or park?
So yeah, you might want to either skirt that or possibly park and let them know that, hey, we're a merchant vessel. Would you like some?
Would you like 2 chairs and a table?
Would you like some chairs?
I mean, we can do that. Yeah. Would you like some chairs and tables? Courtesy of the Fino Workshop from Casimir, located in the Empire, In case
Other
you
than,
wanna, look us
other than
up,
chairs, also make other cool shit.
Yeah.
Look us up, place an order. Find us online at blah 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 blah.
Find us online at cali.sharktank.endoftheworld.
.fino.com.
No, just Fino.
Yeah, it's just Fino.
Yeah.
Because Callie's gonna corner e-commerce before e-commerce even.
Follow me on my website. What is a website?
What is a Hano? Okay, but yeah. So this trip by air is going to take you guys 10 days, one direction, assuming nothing happens. So that is what I will be doing over this like coming week. We'll be rolling some dice basically and seeing if anything happens during the travel. The one thing really that the party does need to be the one big town that they will be crossing over, and then of course when they come to the actual area where the mines are, figuring out how they're going to actually get the stuff from the mines. One thing that Ixtil did tell Callie was that they don't sell that shit to outsiders. So you may need to find an Uxlander to act as a
mediator
to get that trade. So now, obviously, of course, they do more fashion, but direct sales they do not.
They do what? It cut out at the beginning.
They do trade with the Empire, but direct sales, direct trades that they do not do except amongst themselves. So that's why you need to get a mediator.
With my masquerade scarf, I mean, obviously, I doubt, like, with my masquerade scarf, I could look like a Uxlander, because...
I mean, you could look like a background Uxlander.
Oh gosh, I just had a really bad idea. You know how Callie has that invisible?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, he could be the character, she can be the voice.
Yeah, I mean, you technically have already done this gag before.
That's true, we have. It worked so well the last time.
Yeah, you did that gag. It did work. Technically could do it again. But, yeah. So, this is going to be, like I said, this is going to be a short session. So we're going to be ending here in a few minutes. Basically, the party is going to get started moving. You've got all of the bits and pieces that you need to actually be able to make this trip. So all of these different things, food resources, navigation, just simple comfort of travel have all been addressed. Everything at Casimir has been set up and is capable and running without you guys. Rusi and Torque with you as your NPC supports. Rusi and Torque both need to be properly leveled up, and that taken care of, so that's another task that I need to take care of. But everything otherwise, what I'm going to do over this coming week is I'm going to check if anything interesting happens during travel, and of course, set up the locations that you guys are going to. And having that all handled and taken care of and all. So that is what I will be doing over the next coming week. One thing though that I do need you guys know about, and I don't know when this is going to happen. This is just a floating thing that I was literally made aware of yesterday. Is that sometime this year, I will be moving, and it may be soon.
Oh.
I don't know where I'm moving to. Kind of thing.
Figure it out.
Yeah, it's a things will be figured out. Like, things are in the process of being figured out. I was just simply made aware of the fact that this was a thing that was going to happen.
I hope everything's okay.
Oh yeah. Nothing is bad. It's just I was operating up until yesterday under the assumption that this was a 2026 thing, but now it's just been bumped to a 2025 thing. And like I said, there's no explicit date to it. It's just it's going to happen this year. I don't know when. I've just been made aware of it. So as that comes up, I'll let you know. But yeah. Otherwise, our next session will be on the 11th, and we'll take care of stuff that happens on the 11th.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully by then the last tiny details in this thing will be done. I'm so I'm happy that I got it set up in time, but I'm also so upset I didn't. I got 95% finished, and I was just But I hope everyone did like the little surprise I had.
Yeah,
It's like
that's
a
great.
Oh yeah,
belated
yeah,
gift.
I loved it.
Mhm.
I really did.
I'll
And
get you
I think it looks fabulous. So
I agree.
Yeah, I was
I
like,
agree too.
I was trying to get like some like I don't know, like pointers, like some ideas from like I was trying to be vague about it. I was like, hey, what kind of background theme do you like? And like I was trying not to like just be flat out, just say like, hey, what background do you want to be on the DM screen, you know? And if, like
you tripped me up with that question so fucking hard.
yeah,
Background you like, huh?
do you mean a phone background?
No. I mean, like the way that question was like asked, like the way that it was worded, was just like it just. God, let me look back at the chat. What was it? Because like it just really caught me off guard. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I was like,
Fuzzy,
go ahead.
Okay, yeah. What do you feel is your theme in quotation marks? And I'm like,
Right.
what
Oh, yeah.
context? Like a background? Huh?
what?
Do you mean personal background? And then it just was like it spilled out that way.
You want
Like,
my work history? Do I need to make a fucking like a cover letter?
I mean,
I was trying to spoil the surprise.
Fuzzy
I was being a bit
100%
vague.
gets the weirdest questions from people, and I almost feel bad for him.
I mean, it ended up a
100%.
fun conversation, but also like the choices that you made when you put that together. I'm still fucking giggling over Stinky in the back. And like having a picture of like that picture I did of Oda calling lightning when she's like surrounded by like silhouetted bad guys and all that sort of stuff. It's honestly it should be on the back of a fucking DM screen. So like hell yeah, those were all very good design choices. All
And
extremely good
everyone
design
has like their own little wanted poster, like I was
Which I want to draw a new one for that. Get a better one.
And hey, the cool thing is like you literally can update it yourself, and like it'll like sorry, I'm getting a little tongue tied. If all you need to do is just update it on the Discord React, and it just pops up on its own, like it's not anything I need to put in on OBS, But
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, and there's gonna be like I was gonna put like I just put like our names on the thing, and then like on the bottom that's gonna be like our characters, like that's gonna be like the like wanted poster info and stuff. And I was gonna put like a little like chat thing, little greebles, little small details. I just kind of forgot that like, hey, I need to actually like connect the stuff to OBS and stuff too. I kind of forgot like, oh shit, I need to do that. I need to actually have time to do that. So that's what I was doing.
What was I gonna say? I still like Danger. As I'm looking on the Twitch stream, like you said earlier about like Jay is looking like Jay the Chillionaire. Like I can't unsee it now. It's
I saw it and I was like, Chillionaire. Oh, Chillionaire.
The Chillionaire.
Chillionaire, yeah.
Joe the Chillionaire.
And hey, you know what? Jay might like that, honestly. But
Call that man the
but I'm also I am honestly looking forward to like drawing Oda like as a DM, like actively DMing. Like
gotta be in the Gendo pose doing it.
Gendo like fucking like lens flare.
Yeah.
Either that or she's leaning back away, sweating.
What are my players doing?
And like Callie's like already like perfect though. The little
Yeah, she is. I do want to make her pose a little more cheeky though. Like she's making fun of whoever's taking the wanted poster down or whatever.
Like I really could see her do the whole anime like pulling down the eye bag, kind of like pose, like me,
Bleh. Yeah, that one.
Bleh.
tongue out. But yeah, like all of this though, it turned out really, and also Johnny, I saw the doodle of like Seamus and June, Seamus and June at the DMV.
I hate the DMV.
Yeah, Tim had to go to the DMV. Tim's like, oh god. Callie is physically exhausted
thing
for
is
running
just
around, and
that-
Tim is done.
It's
Running
just
around,
he's
crafting
not even
stuff.
interacting with it, which makes it funny, and he's just like casually just mentions it.
I hate the DMV.
Also, everybody got busy this session.
Yeah,
And
people
was
are
like,
taking care of a lot
one
of
way or
things.
another, yeah.
Tim can't even drink. He's like down to Red Bull. To the next room. He's a goal.
He's
Let's go.
lubricating his joints with a.
He downed a mixed drink of Red Bull and WD-40.
Let's get loose, baby.
But yeah, so everything is set up. Everything's good to go. Like I said, I'll be working maps and stuff like that. That is my focus for this coming week. I've got several things written up already for the location and generally what's going to be going on there, so that you guys can interact with it all. But I am also going to be like expanding my little blurble for Uxland, which there was one thing on the Uxland cultural thing that I didn't get to spit out at the time, and it's not like it's important or anything, but just to add on that one last little thing is that like Uxlanders also specifically view anybody who positively about any form of immortality with suspicion and outright scorn.
Damn it! I
wonder
wonder who this is only specifically, very, very specifically going to apply to.
Well, we have 3 functionally immortal people and shooting.
Yeah, one who's shooting for immortal, and 3 people who already are immortal. So yeah, that is true.
So, but yeah, that's and the funny thing is, I wrote all of this ever going there, or the party had really developed out, because I wrote this originally as part of updating Boer's like character back history and everything. So I wrote it as the like, I need to know where the fuck Boer comes from, so I can like give some structure to like how they act and things like that. So and since I had joked about like discount Skyrim before, I was like, discount Skyrim, okay. So yeah, but yeah, it's actually thinking about having written this so long ago, and then like seeing the party like fucking jumping down the pit to like deal with it. This is, I mean, like really, honestly, I cannot stress how legitimately grateful I am that like a couple of sessions ago there was good discussion on what the players, what you guys wanted to do, what you wanted to, and what you wanted to find more about. Because that gave me such a wellspring of like things to pull from. Like, okay, I know that everybody is interested in doing these things. They're interested in these sort of like plot points, yada yada, and so on and so forth. And I've just been able to like start building out that shit. It's been very beneficial in my writing, and the fact that it's allowing me to also like reach back and pull some shit out of the archive that's just funny like that. It's great. It's absolutely awesome. Like legitimately, that was basically a Christmas gift that you guys gave to me. So I'm very grateful. But this is where we will officially, as usual, I'm been dealt with my horse shit. So next session, like I said, will be 11th. It is my focus in between now and then to get maps and things done, to clean up my notes and make sure that I have a nice clear goal and theme for everything that's going on once you guys actually appropriately cross the border into. So yeah, I'm very happy, and I hope that you guys have a pleasant and wonderful evening, whatever you happen to do for the rest of the night.
Yes.
You too.
Jeez.
Alrighty. Well,
Have a good one, everybody.
I'll take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Good night and
bye-bye.
Let's shoot for 100.
let's go.
Yeah,
100 years Rick and Morty. Let's go.
100 years.
100 years Rick and Morty.
100. Yeah. Go.
Jesus.
All right, guys. That was amazing. That was a great session. Thank you all so much for being here, and I thank everybody that joined me today, especially the ones on screen. And yeah, let's see who is online for us to raid. You know what? Anniversary stream. Yeah, I wanted to raid Goblin Fia because they're doing Baldur's Gate. Let's see. Another stream get to F out though. Let's see, is anybody? Axolotl doing web fishing, Hooking's doing Helldivers, R2's doing Half of Alex, Menagere's doing Path of Exile. I mean, I could raid Menagerie. What do you guys think? Should we raid Goblin Via? Because they're doing a Baldur's Gate, you know, keep the RPG train rolling, or should we go raid a friend like Nedu or Menagerie? Or, you know what, let's let the dice decide. So I'll roll 1d3, and if it's 3 for Goblin Fia, 2 for Nedu, and 1 for Menagerie. 1, 2, 3. Let's see, 1d3. 2. Okay, so Nedu. That's alright. So we're gonna go ahead and raid Nedu. Oh. Here we go, raid Nedu. And here's the raid message, everybody. And if you aren't subbed, you can go ahead and use this one instead. Or just use the words. Or just your own emotes, whatever you want. And again, thank you all so much for being here. And I hope you all like the new overlay. I worked really hard on this. It was a little tough, you know, because I'm still kind of a bit busy, you know. Just had to work on this after work, and to be honest, I kind of definitely stayed up longer than I needed or should have. You know, kind of got in a little bit of trouble at work because I overslept, but, you know, it was worth it. It was 100% worth it. And I hope you all have a great night, and I will see you all next week for the next game, and possibly some sporadic streams in between, but I am working on a very, very important project that you will hopefully see next month. And yeah, I hope you all have a lovely new year, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye. Mwah. Still need to do an end screen for this. That'll be the next thing I work on. Bye, everybody.
Gameplay starting to come in handy. Yeah.